Hi, heroes. This is Stan Lee coming at you.
One question. When I get a cat, can I name it after you?
Only if I get paid some sort of a commission. I want you to know, Marvel has always been and always will be a reflection of the world right outside our window. People often ask me which of the DC characters would I have liked to have written. And it really doesn't matter to me because I like writing anything. Those stories have room for everyone, regardless of their race, gender, religion, or color of their skin. The only things we don't have room for are hatred, intolerance, and bigotry. We're all part of one big family, the human family, and we all come together in the body of Marvel.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
But you know, fall for body.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
What's up, everyone? This is Arnaldo, a.k.a. Mad Dog. And this is going to be the real episode 134 of GG's The Mouthful podcast.
See, I did it far away from the mic so that I wouldn't scare the people, just like you did just now when you started with the "What's up?"
Forget it, man. They just they're off the road now.
That
they ran off the road. They
that
don't even
just
know it.
clip all the way through.
That did not clip. There was no clipping.
There's a lot of clipping. Look at
That's all you, bro.
That's not me. That's not
That is
me.
all you clipping. The gentleman joining me who is clipping left and right is Mr. David Santos, a.k.a. Dream Twister. What is up, sir?
How would you explain clipping to non-audio people?
Sure, I don't even know if I understand it. So basically, the equalizer, or what is it called?
Yeah, the lights. If the lights hit
where
the red,
everything is plugged
it's
into
bad.
that's recording our voices right now.
Yes.
When it blinks red when someone talks, evidently you're clipping. I'm not sure what that means.
It means that you're going through walls.
I think so.
Your sound is actually clipping through walls.
Through the walls itself.
And the enemy can see you from the other side.
And they can shoot you.
And they can shoot
Oh,
you.
they shoot. Okay. So the gentleman next to me is clipping left and right.
Yes.
Doesn't realize that he is open for being shot.
I am the clips.
You, yeah. You are the clip, sir. Yes. What are you enjoying there, sir?
Sir. I don't know. You always bring me drinks of merriment here.
Yes,
but
I do.
I think I've had this one.
I think I'm like a bad influence. if alcohol was a drug, I'd be a peddler.
You are the Heisenberg of beers.
Of beer, yes. Yes,
because you
I
are
think you're
creating
right.
your own formula too.
Oh my god, dude! I need to get back on that. I was
Right?
going to buy some the stuff to make it. I have recipe going and all this.
Yeah.
And things happen, dude. I'm now so focused on my backyard because I love my backyard.
Dude, your backyard.
I'm so focused on my backyard.
Let's
that
talk about the renovations to Casa
man.
de Martin, beer, bed, and breakfast.
Yes, okay.
Bar, bed, and breakfast.
Bar, bread,
and beyond.
breakfast,
There you
and
go.
beyond. Yes. So as you know, I bought my house 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And the backyard was literally a jungle.
What's a jungle?
And it's not
Well,
even.
terrible.
It's
We
not-
actually filmed something.
Yes.
Where we were.
As a matter of fact, yes. Even my wife is ashamed of that particular
area.
of that. No, she's ashamed of that video that we did, and she's more ashamed of the backyard than she is of the dumbass shit that we were doing in the backyard. But anyway, so if you happen to see this video, which I guess we'll share again because we always share it on the group, but it was overgrown. We have bushes. I have grass. It's just, and we were trying to get put money together so we can get it fixed and all that. Things happen. We had to fix something on the roof. Fence went down on one of the hurricanes.
You went to Italy.
We went to well, yeah. that was happening no matter what. Yeah. At some point we had to get a new car. Anyway, point is, everything kept putting it aside, and finally we just said we ended up buying so much stuff for the backyard. We're like, okay, we have to
Now
really
we're
fix it.
obligated.
We have no choice.
That's the best. That's the best strategy.
Yeah, it forces your hand. And so finally, we got some pavers to come in, and they literally just like pavers are the like stone tiling.
Yeah.
And they just did it in entire back and then.
Dude, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks like a perfect place to have our next GG
I
get
think.
together.
Yeah. I think. I'm sitting there going, you know what? Episode 150,
Yeah,
maybe 200.
that
I'm
could
like,
be- that could be right there.
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen.
Listen. We have a contact. Just talk to Chakrod.
Oh, Chakrod is
That
there.
guy
We've already
knows how
been
to-
discussing. He's hey, well,
Oh,
we
is
got it.
happening?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like, I
nice.
mean,
Oh,
and maybe
nice.
just a get together, not specifically.
That guy knows how to
amazing
throw
episode.
parties. Let me
Oh my
tell
God!
you.
Did you see the
Yeah.
last party?
Yeah.
They called the cops on him.
They called the cops literally on him.
Chakrod, for the record, I really don't want cops called on my house. Just FYI, we can get down, but we got to get down.
But at 10, we have to close shop.
Yeah. Or at least bring it down a few decibels. Oh, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time listening, please go to goodgame.tech. Join the conversation there. Also, if you are listening to this on Google Play, let it go, guys. We are now on Spotify. Woo! Yes. Of course, we're also on iTunes and YouTube and all the other Android stuff. But screw Google Play. Something's always wrong with that stupid app.
What is it?
I don't know. Even Nivel Escondido, if for whatever reason, I don't know if it's something that I don't know how they have it set up, or maybe it's just Google Play just not doing things right. But it only captures like the last one or two episodes. That's it.
Wouldn't that be the okay? So it's the app then that's the problem, right?
I believe so. And sometimes I'm listening to
Not
something.
not the distribution channel.
I don't know.
Think.
I have no idea. I just know I just know that I always have issues with Google Play, and Spotify has made it extremely easy to just get on it, and we are now on Spotify, ladies and gentlemen.
Sir, now that you talk about Google Play, I have some news. Mm-hmm. I believe so far my projections are that my next phone will be an Android phone.
Oh snap!
Oh yes.
What?
I
it's
tell you what
about
it is.
Damn time.
Well, it's not my first rodeo.
I know.
I started my
and I'm already gonna just throw this here, guys. Mark it down. November 16th at 8:16 p.m. He will go back to Apple to eventually come back again. It's a vicious cycle.
No,
guys.
listen. I tell you what. I tell you what it is and what have driven me to finally almost commit. That's not even a thing, but I tell you what it is. So the problem that I had before, and yes, my first smartphone was a Galaxy Note 3. I was a late bloomer to the smartphones, believe it or not.
As was I. I mean, seriously, my first smartphone was the S5.
Well, oh damn.
Yeah, I was very late to it. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I'm fucking old. What do you want from me? I don't know how to use these shits.
So it was fine. It worked out fine. Then I replaced it with an iPhone because I used to carry an iPad all the time with me.
And you're a
I don't know if
trader.
you remember. And I'm a trader.
And you're a trader.
And I wanted that experience, and I believe it might have been the iPhone 6, and it was fine. I liked it and all that. It started giving me problems. I went back to Android just to switch it back because I could not stand the operating system. I was not as sophisticated, let's say. And for the record, it's still not as sophisticated. It just gives you more liberty to do stuff, but that's not what I'm looking for necessarily.
That's not what I consider
just want something that
sophistication.
Looks nice. No, I want something that just works. The problem that I have with Apple is their fucking attitude towards their products. It's making me sick. And it's making me sick that I'm giving this company money, And I'm talking about their attitude towards their products in general. It could be the phones, it could be their computers, it could be the Apple TV, whatever. Is this
just their products in general? Yeah.
This feeling that you should be, that you have the privilege, the fucking iWatch. Do you have the privilege? It's not called iWatch.
Yes,
Apple Watch, whatever. Of owning this device, and you should pay us an exorbitant amount dude, the computers for the price of their high-end computer, I could literally build you 2 high-end gaming PCs, and not skimp on any of the other features. They will be badass PCs
And better.
and
Right, so,
much
yeah.
and much better. So I don't want to turn this into an Apple batch, but I will.
Oh, hey.
So
I'm always down with
so
that.
so unfortunately I'm kind of tied to the ecosystem. At least the music for the most part. Not so much anything else, but the music. Yes, I'm still an oldie that buys their music.
Hey,
pays 99
at least-
cents per
at
song or
least you're
$10
doing
per
it
album.
Digitally, so
I do it
You're not
digitally,
going
yeah.
buying CDs and shit.
No, I don't have space to put more crap here. So I have a large collection of songs, and for some reason that was always problematic on Android to be able to use it. It's almost like the way you're describing Google Play with the podcast is the problem that I was having with any of the other programs
Oh, really?
on
Okay.
on Android. So it kept me almost tied to Apple. Now I found out that evidently at least that program, the Apple Music, I don't care about the
iTunes.
subscription, but basically the iTunes thing is available on Google on Android.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it tested, and it was great. It's a familiar interface about the only thing that I care of, that I want to maintain that that interface, because I know it already and it works out fine for me. If I can sync it to iTunes, that's it. That's a buy then. And I'm almost waiting to see if Black Friday will have some like really good deals. I will upgrade if I don't have to pay anything. Like last time I upgraded, I didn't have to pay anything. So if it's something like that again, that is like that is crazy, then I'll jump on it. If not, then that's fine. But yeah, man, I'm thinking I'm done with their the feeling
BS,
of
yes.
their feeling of superiority of, hey, no, you should be this is an honor for you to carry this next phone that costs you $1,200 just because. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man.
I hope you understand that the next Galaxy will probably
Well, let's
be
be
up
real.
there,
Yeah, no, that's right. But at least they don't have the attitude, at least they don't seem to have that pretentiousness.
Perhaps, yes.
Yeah.
So far.
So far, yeah.
Well, I guess we should start with the show. Well, if I haven't already said, what we normally do, guys, is we go into what we have been up to and then move into some news items and then finally finish with our hot topic of the week. Hot topic of the week this week, of course, is going to be mobile games, guys. We're going to revisit a little something about mobile games that we had started before, because things have gotten better as far as I'm concerned in mobile gaming.
Do we know that for sure? I guess we'll find out.
Exactly. So let's start the show, sir. Do you want to go first? As to what you've been up to?
Well, let me get it out of the way, just because you've probably done a lot more than I haven't seen any movies.
Okay. It's a shame.
I did play a little bit. Battlefield 5, sir.
Oh my God! How did I know? How did I?
You did not know. You did not know.
No, I did not know that's what you were going. So let me rephrase it. I didn't know that that's what you're going to present. You were trying to keep it a secret. However, at some point we did say, the hell with EA, right?
Yeah.
Where it's good, and I was like, yeah, he's probably gonna still get Battlefield 5 when it comes out. That was like months ago at this point.
You could not be more wrong, sir.
It's not Battlefield 5?
It is Battlefield 5, but I'll tell you the way I did it. I didn't do what you expected me to do, because I didn't want to hear you say, I knew you were gonna do this. Like you have
Fair
attempted
enough.
and failed. All right. No, I was smarter this time.
You stole it. No.
No, no. I don't pirate. I subscribe to EA Premier.
Oh, Premiere.
On PC.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Which they offer you. Their catalog, most of their catalog, whatever they have,
Which is
available.
good stuff. I mean, let's be real. They don't
Yeah,
have
they
that
have.
shit, yeah.
I mean, obviously, yeah, they have some good titles. I can literally go back and revisit, Battlefront 2 if I want to. And not that I would, but yeah, Dead Space. I own Dead Space. I was trying to go for something I didn't own.
I missed that space.
There is, yeah, the good ones.
The
though.
good
Not Dead
Not
Space
3.
3. Although it's there also. But no, the game with the stupid cat that they have, it's like a yarn.
Oh, Yarny.
There you go.
Yeah.
That one.
Unraveled.
Yeah. There you go. That's what it's called. It's not yarn.
Yarny is the character.
That is the character. See, okay. So I can visit that. I've never tried it. So I have to say, the idea, like I'm not keeping the subscription. Don't get me wrong. I'm not subscribing to the notion of subscription services. All right, I'm not doing that.
Interesting.
What I like is, and this goes very well with the way that I have been finding myself playing games, is that especially for titles like this, I will play them for a bit, and then I lose interest, and then it just sits unplayed on my collection. And I might never say like, oh, I could beat it, and again, then
Never
that's
go back to it. Yeah.
Especially since EA and Activision and these companies have decided to make this game so disposable. When you analyze games, you're basically making your game disposable. That's what That's what it is.
Get a 9-month life cycle.
Exactly. By next year, if you're still playing the previous game, you're like, no, man. So I decided to, hey, I can spend $15, play the game to completion, and then and then cancel my subscription. Which I gotta give props to them. It seems I haven't canceled it.
Yeah.
But it does, from what I've read for a thing, because I researched just to make sure that or what I was getting into.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it is an easy method of cancellation.
Cancellation. Okay.
And also, after you install, they don't make it anything weird of hiding the fact that you can cancel. Like, it tells you right there. Like, one of the tips that it gives you is that, hey, and you can cancel. It like it presents you up front.
Yeah.
Which
makes it easy. Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising for our company. Also, and I knew about this. I guess I never mentioned because I don't normally buy games from Origin, but you could return games on Origin a little bit easier that you could on Steam, because Steam gives you a limit. I think it's
2 hours. Right?
Yeah.
What's the?
I don't remember. I just mentioning it because it seemed like it seems a little bit more more
Customer
fair.
friendly?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. Good on them, I guess. Going back to yeah. So I definitely was looking to play something something new, and that was the new game. I got to play it earlier before it was released. I haven't finished it so far. I am extra glad that I have paid $15 for it already, because honestly,
There's so burnt.
not much of a difference from even the presentation with Battlefield 1. All right, so if we were to compare, I was gonna say it almost feels like a sequel to Battlefield 1, which it is.
Yeah.
Obviously.
World War II was a sequel to World War One.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yes.
So
Both bad, by the way.
Yeah, both terrible. So where do I start? So the single player campaign, for example, is that same idea of the little stories,
The vignettes.
vignettes,
Okay.
just like Battlefield 1 had, to where you start to get comfortable, and you like this character if the story is good, but then the story is over and it feels like, hey, this chapter is done. Now you go to the next one and there's something completely different, and each of them have its own feel. Like the one of them, you have your character that almost make you feel like that Nathan Drakey type of character, if you could call it that. The other one is a little bit more somber, There is one of the second mission, which is called Nordlis, which I'm playing this female lead character. It is so far is the most entertaining one of the ones that I play so far.
How many vignettes are the same? Like 5? I think there were 5.
This one actually has 4, and I believe one of them has not been released yet. Like, it says coming soon.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in DLC? No, because it said everything's
it's
free. So
yeah.
it'll just be a
So
free
it's
update.
it's just, hey, we're not.
They weren't fucking finished. Is
We're
that
not
what it is?
finished with this one, so
The actor, we needed to do some reshoots.
I guess.
Oh my god.
The whole thing feels like it. Don't get me wrong. It is, it is it's a package. Nothing on it feels like blatantly incomplete. It just feels like it was done really, really, really quick, and some of the it almost looked like they were running. You know, they were passing that finish line with things breaking out. Yeah, you know,
falling off,
things
muffler
falling
and
out.
everything coming off.
Yes, yes, they were making it,
Yeah.
but their motor was on fire, like in that Furious 7 or
Nice.
whatever. So the reason I mentioned that is because I had the hardest time trying to, and this might have been a driver issue, and the fact that again I was playing it before it was quote unquote officially released. So I had the hardest time getting to a performance that to me was acceptable. Like sometimes I will nail the performance of the game, but then the cutscenes will be choppy as hell, even though the cutscenes are just video.
First off, PC, right? You did say
PC, yeah, I'm
okay.
playing on PC, yeah. I play on PC.
You did mention it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, some of the times if I play border in full screen, then the game feels very smooth, but the graphics are choppy.
Wow.
No, sorry, not the graphic. The
Frame.
The cutscenes. The cutscenes.
Really?
Yeah, the cutscenes themselves.
Cutscenes are
And
like
they're full motion video.
really? And
Yeah.
it's still fucking choppy.
There's something with the codecs that was used, or something with the implementation, or like I said, the drivers, or I don't know what it is. It's the only game where I've noticed this happen. If I'm playing on full screen, it's just the gameplay itself is fine. It's smooth. It's very smooth. But yeah, the videos are choppy. And then if I do the opposite, if I play in window or borderless, which is basically borderless is like a fake full screen, because in full screen on PC, the game is just shown up front. Everything else that is happening on the computer is like chopped to the back. It's completely on the background. You know, you can't. I mean, I guess you could alt tab out and go to something else, but it's usually some games don't like. You know, might not like that. Some they might not do that gracefully. I mean, this problem has been almost solved nowadays, but every now and then it's a little bit harder to alt tab out of it if you want to do something else. Whereas fake borderless or fake full screen, like I call it, it looks full screen, but you can go to the start menu if you need to and put something else, and it will overlay in front of it. Like if I need to watch a YouTube
So it's
video
not actually. Yeah, I got you.
of how to get to somewhere, for example, something like that. Yeah. So if I play there, then the cutscenes will be perfect. But now the game starts fine, but it gets progressively choppier and choppier, as if that was some sort of memory leak error, or something. So, I don't know. And to be quite frank, I might you might look at it and say, well, this is not the cutscene, because the cutscenes, you will look at it and they look extremely choppy. Doesn't matter, no matter what. But the game will look acceptable. It's just that it will take some dips. Like, let's say if it was feeling 60 frames, or higher, and then suddenly it will just go down to 20.
Jesus.
For no reason, So I don't know what's going on. It doesn't feel like it's like super optimized. On top of that, they released. This was one of the games that was supposed to show us ray tracing with the new NVIDIA video cards and the ray tracing capabilities, which is supposed to be like the next big thing that is coming. I say coming because even though it's already here, I don't feel like this is like the baby implementation. Like this implementation is crap, let me tell you. It'll be a big deal in the future. For graphics, it will be. I get it. I get what they're doing it. This will make this will. If you look at games right now and you think, oh man, they just look so good. They look so realistic. You haven't seen a proper demonstration of ray tracing and what it can do. When you see the special effects that they do in actual live movies like Star Wars, or even in Pixar movies and stuff like that, the real latest ones, especially those special effects that look like crazy magnificent. Imagine games looking like that and running like real smooth. By the way, to render those movies, it takes months, literally months, and they have computer farms of just working on rendering frame by frame these movies. All right, so that's not to, I'm not trying to taking away anything of the NVIDIA's implementation of ray tracing, because in reality, it's amazing that we can see that level of performance done so quick. The problem is that it's not quick enough right now.
Oh, okay.
So for those of you who understand PCs are a little bit more on the technical side, I bought a RTX 2080, not the TI, not the high end $1,200 model. I guess the middle one, if so to speak, even though it's crazy expensive. And no, it's actually on loan. I intend to replace it because I was waiting for my new car, which I just received. It's right here.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah.
And that's the one that my old video car went to the shits, and I had to get an RMA, and of course I wasn't gonna be not playing anything for a couple of weeks, So I have one on loan from Amazon, and anyway, the thing is, they gave me the opportunity to test this technology. I'm glad that finally something came out, because these cards were released like in September, and nothing was out that could take advantage of ray tracing.
Of ray tracing, yes, too new.
So the promise of ray tracing and all that was completely unfulfilled because there was no games. Now, at least I get to play at least one, and I am not impressed. The level of, the quality of the scenery looks really good. Like the lighting effect, the lighting and the refractions and all that, they look magnificent. But then you move, and that game crawls to a slideshow. Wow. And I have a relatively powerful system. I rebuilt my computer, recently. I have an 8700K, CPU, which was 2017's fastest CPU for gaming, and I have 16 gigs of memory in there. I have SSDs. I have a computer that should be good enough to run this very smooth, and it does as long as you don't put RTX. The moment you put RTX, I might as well have PlayStation 2. Jesus. As far as the
PlayStation 2 trying to run.
As far as the as far as the performance go, and it is very, very, very unplayable. So obviously I will not be using it, and obviously it is not a technology that is in anywhere ready.
With time, I assume they'll button all
That's
that
the thing.
stuff up.
It does get me excited for the next one. Consoles will implement this eventually, because again, it's gonna be a feature just like anti-aliasing, became a feature, and just like everything else. And games are, if you thought the games were already at its max, this is the next step. This is the real next step that are gonna make those games pop. Especially if you're already playing it on with HDR and all that crap. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you bought an RTX card for this, unless you got the $1,200, which is actually more like $1,500, because of course people are jacking the prices up on them. Unless you want to spend $1,500 on a video card just to play Battlefield 5 at respectable levels of frame rate with RTX on at 1080p, because forget about running this shit at 4K. You can forget about with RTX on. It's not gonna happen. It's gonna be majorly problematic. Unfortunately, I don't have much to report other than the single player. I haven't jumped into the multiplayer of it just yet. Although, to be honest, I don't expect it to be that much of a difference from Battlefield 1 multiplayer, because the I don't not that the weapons are the same or anything like that, but that feel of, oh, these are all guns, and they're gonna feel very unwieldy when I'm trying to shoot at someone. They're just gonna spray bullets everywhere.
I don't know. I remember Battlefield 1 having. I mean, again, I don't play a lot of multiplayer shooters, but I remember enjoying the hell out of Battlefield 1's multiplayer.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun, and I never saw that the weapons. I mean, yes, they were older weapons, but they also had some weapons that I was like, yeah, this didn't exist.
This didn't exist.
You know what I mean? So chances are they'll do the same with this version, because you got to make it fun as well. It is a game after all.
They have taken some liberties, and I have to say, I've been enjoying it. enough.
Yeah.
I would say if I would have spent the $60 on it at the current state, I would have been, I probably would have been a little disappointed with the single player. I was not, even though I do like the multiplayer of Battlefield in general.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't enjoy it that much on Battlefield 1, and I don't expect it that this one would change my mind just because, again, really old weapons compared to Battlefield 4 when I was using the current and almost throwing towards the future,
futuristic
type,
weapons,
a type of I like modern warfare. So it's
Sounds like you like Call of Duty.
With Call of Duty because hell no. If anything, this game demonstrates just how much of a different type of game this is.
Oh yeah.
The shooting on a Battlefield game and the shooting on a Call of Duty is just two different things. And I'm not gonna say one is better than the other. Obviously, they all have their pros and cons, but it's just Call of Duty feels it is way more twitchy.
Mm-hmm.
On this
Call
one,
of Duty, yeah.
Call of Duty, yeah. On this one, and that's nothing new. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying anything that is, but this one definitely feels like you could, like if we were to go with a squad,
Mm-hmm.
you can have some good strategies. Of course, unfortunately, most of that stuff has been stripped out from the Battlefield to make it more mainstream. I hate to say it because yeah, most people are not caring about sticking with their squad or anything like that. They'll just want to shoot whatever what is run. So
Yeah.
So that's my little Battlefield PC Battlefield 5 report. If you like Battlefield 1, you're probably gonna like this one. I can't hold.
There's no battle royale, so you can't.
There's no battle royale on it, so yeah. If you guys are expecting that, that's not happening until next year. Now, I like what I've heard so far about the if they're gonna, not if, when they do the microtransactions, which it probably has. I haven't explored that, to be honest with you, but the fact that including microtransactions is just gonna be cosmetic stuff on only,
Mm-hmm.
that gives me hope that the game's not gonna be total shit. Probably learned this the hard way from their experience with Battlefront 2. You see almost in the design language of this game
Almost the same.
how much different it feels like they have their I don't know how to describe it, but there's a feel of apology when you're playing this game when you come from something like Battlefront 2, because they're not trying to push anything on you up front. Even the service itself, it says like, hey, and thank you for subscribing, and if you need to cancel, here it is.
Yeah.
It's like it's
We're not
almost
pushing anything.
No, exactly.
We're doing 100% customer friendly.
And
here,
they're saying it like, the maps are gonna be free, for everyone. You don't need to buy season passes, and don't worry, the auction house, the
that comes next year.
yeah, no, oh god, the microtransactions store is just gonna be cosmetic only, so you can almost see it that DICE is into full apology mode,
basically,
for this product. But anywho, I'll let you know more. I'll probably finish it
pretty
if it
soon,
holds my interest. Yeah. So what else? Oh, and because we were talking about the opportunity to revisit older games,
Mm-hmm.
I got to play some Burnout Paradise.
Wow.
Woo! Yeah, the remaster.
Nice.
Because I already own Burnout Paradise. But the remaster.
Does it look better? Or is it
I mean,
looks the same?
You know what? I haven't. I'm trying to go by memory because I haven't reinstalled. I probably should have done that.
What year was this? Let me see. Burnout Paradise, right?
Burnout Paradise. Yeah, I want to say 2012. Probably. I could be wrong on that.
That sounds about right.
But should be like 2010 or something like that. It's probably before. the graphics on at least on PC, which is where I play, I remember it being decent. These ones are, I guess, decent for this era now. I mean, the gameplay is crazy. It's fun. It's Burnout Paradise.
The original version.
2008.
2008. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was something like that.
2008.
2008. That's okay. So it was. So we needed a remaster.
It's a 10-year. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. That's a good. That's a good jump for a remaster.
For a remaster, yeah,
That's
10
early.
years.
That's early last gen, and we're coming to the end of this gen.
gen.
Yeah, that's a perfect time for a remaster.
Yeah.
That's acceptable.
So
Yeah.
I forgot that game makes use of the cameras back in the day when that was a big thing, and he kept activating my my webcam, and I was like, why is he doing this? Why is he wanting to load the? Because I didn't remember. Of course, you take a picture for your license, for your burnout license,
Wow.
and it's basically a license to like destroy crap everywhere. So every time that you get the opportunity to, wow, you need a refill. I'm still halfway on mine. My beer. So I forgot that it did. So you had the opportunity to change your picture every let's say every time you win a race, it'll ask if you want to change the picture on your quote unquote license, and I'll be like, sure, I'll post on it.
Something different.
I don't know that it does anything, to be honest, other than maybe if you play
It's cosmetic,
with
let's be
friends,
real,
yeah, it's cosmetic. No microtransactions that
I would
I'm
hope
aware
not.
of.
God, I would hope
Well,
so.
Activision
I
put
mean,
microtransactions on the remake of Call of Duty 4, so that was Activision, because damn Activision. No, but the I forgot the music. I forgot the sense of speed of that game is pretty amazing. And I guess now, you know what? Now in retrospect, I should have remembered that this game came out in 2008. You know why? Because of the elections around the time it came out.
The advertisement.
Yeah, that was literal advertisement for our president, and I remember seeing advertisements for Obama in this game on the billboards because they could literally buy billboard space, ad space in the virtual world, and it was super surreal to be running, destroying the city, and doing all kinds of mayhem, and then seeing pictures of Obama.
Billboards of Obama flying
everywhere.
apart. Yeah.
yeah. I don't remember if you can run. I don't think you could break those, but still, it would have been hilarious if you could. But yeah, and now they look so plain. They're just the billboards are there, but it's just like a generic something,
Yeah, they can't use
like
that
the
now.
EA logo or something. I don't know. It's boring. But anyway, yeah, that game's all right, man. If you ever, and this will happen. Yeah, it could happen. PSN Plus, something like that, maybe.
I'm not a racing guy, so it's not. I mean, if it's free,
Burnout though.
yeah, if
Burnout's
it's
not a
free,
racing game. Burnout is
True.
a cacophony of
True,
destruction.
yeah. I mean, if it ever comes to PlayStation Plus, I'm not going to be against it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Obviously,
no, you need to tag that.
Yeah.
Because that game's fun.
I could even do that.
Anyway, I probably play something else, but those were the highlights of this week. So it was an
Nice.
EA week here.
Wow.
$15.
Wow.
You know what's that?
An EA week.
That sounds like the worst
Yes, that
nightmare.
is.
But you know what? I think I'm gonna do that for Anthem when it comes out. I'll put $15 because if it's $15, that's a very low barrier to.
It is, yeah.
To
And it works-
investigate, to
it wor-
report on it.
It works for Microsoft.
No, they give you the deluxe version, whatever that means, because it's not like you're probably not gonna use the feature, but it feels good to that. Oh, I got the deluxe version, the $79 or the $80 of it. I paid $15. Yeah, whatever. This is not an advertisement for it. So, what about you? Have you done anything in particular?
Well, yeah, I did a couple things. I am still chipping away at this massive game called Red Dead.
Boo.
It does not end, and I have to tell you.
Actually, boo nothing. That game is amazing. I'm just saying,
How do you know? You haven't played.
No, well, I'm not stupid. I can see the reviews. I can see everybody.
So, that said, with those reviews, I'm not ready to give a review yet. But
Oh, God.
I have to say,
What is it projecting?
It's projecting right now. Like, honestly, I'd give it between a 7.5 and an 8.
Whoa!
And I'm going to tell you why.
Sir,
I know.
People are screaming at you right now.
That's fine. They can scream at me all
Calm
they
down.
want.
This is not the announcement
there's
of
no
Diablo Immortal.
There's no multiplayer yet, or you know what I mean. There's the online edition.
Is this an out of season April Fool's joke?
It is.
There you go. So don't believe.
Well, yes. No. So my main issue with it is it's starting to weigh on me. It's starting to get to the point where it's taking too long to do anything.
This is the open worldness of open world.
I joked with my son as he walks by whatever, and who walked by as I'm playing in the living room, and a few times throughout the evening that I'm playing, and I'm like, hey, have you noticed? What am I doing every time you're coming by? I'm on a horse heading to some direction. Okay, this is 19 out of 20 times. This is exactly what I'm doing. Okay?
Wow.
So the other thing that's bothering me, which unfortunately cost the life of a dear horse of mine by the name of Knightsbane.
Oh.
Okay, the fucking controls are atrocious. Okay,
Atrocious. They just
I'm
went
sorry.
from.
The problem is, there are moments where I feel like I'm getting it. So for instance, I'm on horseback because I'm always on fucking horseback. So I'm on horseback, and you're going down to do whatever, right? And some guys will jump out because they want to fucking rob you or something like that, right? So I had one instant where I jumped off my horse, slapped the horse so he can run off, ran behind a tree, got my gun out, dead eyes a couple people, and then came back and reloaded and moved from cover to cover. Worked perfectly, dude. Worked
Very
perfectly.
cinematic,
I was
very
like, man,
badass.
I am getting the hang of this, right?
Yeah.
No. The next time something happens, it doesn't work. I'm hitting the button to crouch, and he's not fucking crouching, right? And I'm like, why are you not crouching? People are shooting in that direction, right? There are two speeds to your character's movement. Slow
And
or just like sprinting. Okay. So if you don't hold the button you hold X, right? If you just move the stick, you're gonna walk. Yeah. He doesn't walk normally. He moseys. It's just this casual, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? That type of walk, right? You hold the button and he just moves off on a sprint, right? So imagine in a gunfight, I'm standing behind a barrel of some sort, and I'm just trying to get in cover, and it's not getting in cover. So, and then for whatever reason, I try to move the character, and of course he's moving freakishly slow. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, I try to speed him up, so I hold the X button, and what happens? I end up jetting off to another direction. Like, no, why can't it just work all the time?
Oh my god,
it's the most annoying thing, and it's really starting to piss me off. And like I said, it's because of those weird little yes, you can say, hey, you just need to get good. If it wasn't for the fact that I've had a couple of those good moments where it just works, I get the controls, I hit the right button at the right time, I remember to hold the R1 first before I do this so that the right command comes out. Those happen, and they happen, once in the blue. The rest of the time, it's like, it just doesn't respond. Yeah, it doesn't respond. I'm like, why isn't he, and then of course it just takes me out of the game. And then like I said, it cost me a horse, and yes, when your horse dies, they're gone forever. And everything you've worked upon this horse, and let me tell you, I kind of like this horse, Knightsbane. Yeah. Rest in peace, Knightsbane. It just it frustrates me.
You don't reload. You don't reload a save. That's your story.
Well, the problem is on autosave. So when I get to the thing, because here's the deal: you can't save in certain missions. While you're in the middle, save is locked. You have to complete a certain part.
Yeah.
So once you get to that other part, now you can save, but you really don't have to because they're already saved.
Yeah.
So good luck loading. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you do load, then you got to redo the whole thing over again. And it's like, no. So it's.
I'm sorry, horse, but you're not worth me going through.
I have two
all
other
this
horses.
thing again.
And the funny thing is, I have two other horses, and still went and said, "The hell with this. I'm gonna getting a new horse." I'm like the most money I've had in the entire game. I have about $2,300. So which. I don't think I can blow, even if I were to buy everything, because that's a lot of money. So anyway, that said, I still find it funny, and I really think that that's what it is. The fact that there is nothing else. If there was, I think I would have gave up on this game already.
Well,
and only because that's what it is. I mean, I would have said, you know what? Maybe I would have pushed a little more. And I do the story. Here's the worst part: the story has started to get good. Like right now, there's these moments where in between chapters, he himself, the main character, is narrating, and he's almost reflecting on what just recently happened. And I'm like, oh, this is new. Yeah. I'm 30 hours into the game. In the last 3 hours, my last two missions, he's done this. Never seen this before. I'm coming to the end of chapter 3 of 6. And yes, there are 2 epilogues, so I'm nowhere near the end.
Yeah.
I'm still at like 37%.
Wow.
How am I at 37%? Anyway, it doesn't matter. My point is the story started to get good, and the moment, the whole mission that led to my horse unfortunately dying was an excellent mission. I was like all in.
Yeah.
But the damn controls, man, it literally takes you out of it. It's like it's not fluid.
No.
And it's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating. I will still push through, and I really do want to try Red Dead Online when that comes out.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I want to try that. There are moments that I feel like I am playing Westworld, which is, a great freaking show, and I enjoy it. And I'm like, man, this is great. This is exactly what I want. And other times that I don't. I walk a lot, too, and that's my own fault. But that's because it's either walk or sprint. You know what I mean? And if you sprint, guess what's happening? You're blowing stamina. And I'm like, I just want to walk fast. There should be a walk fast button. You know what I mean? Instead of
maybe there is that you haven't discovered it yet.
It's possible because there's like 5 layouts to the buttons. You know what I mean? So anyway,
you have to use like a jet manual level of instructions.
I swear to God, what was that game, Mech Warrior, that had that weird?
The multiple control.
I mean, that's what I need in order to figure out how to move not Marston, Arthur around.
The Steel Battalion. You're
the
right.
Steel Battalion.
And there were
that's
two. One of them with the craziest controller you've ever seen.
That's the control I need.
Well, I was gonna say,
or the big layout
I
one.
was gonna say that's Kinect. That's the crazy controller.
No, I don't need
that. The invisible controller, and then there's the one that is actually
invisible,
good.
as in non-existent. It's not. You're not gonna move anything. But anyway, I find it hard to suggest this game to anyone. There are people who want to play it, and here's the deal: is that the game is a marvel. Yeah. You can't deny that. It's getting tens because it freaking earned those tens. But there are these things that just get in the way.
They should have gamified a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I get the realism, but in the end, we're supposed to be playing a game.
Yeah.
And if I'm just trying to get from one place to another, let me get there fast so I can just get to the next mission. You know what I mean?
I tell you, in a lot of those games, one thought that pops that takes me out of the game a little bit is the fact that, let's say it's a normal character in an open world universe, and I'm constantly running. And it's like, why is my character constantly running? Why is he running every time? This is not normal, and it never gets tired. He's always in a hurry. He looks like a maniac. But then I thought, actually, kind of makes sense. You kind of have to gamify some of those things, because if my character was acting the normal ways, of society, it would be walking.
It will feel just like this.
Yeah.
It will feel just like this. And like I said, some of the stuff makes sense. I enjoy it. I'm gonna stick on Red Dead anymore, and I don't think I'm gonna bring it up again. Maybe when I finish it.
Yeah.
But in between, I was able to play the new Tetris Effect.
Yes, you did get that. I was kind of surprised that you did, to be honest with you, because
I told you last week.
I didn't know that you were that level of a fan. I mean, we're talking about $40.
So it's a bit on the pricier end when you think that it's just Tetris.
Right.
When you look at it that way, you go, this is just Tetris. Is it really worth it? And all this.
They're gonna release the Battle Royale mode next month.
The Tetraminos, 100 Tetraminos into an island.
Hey, why hadn't anybody done that yet?
Know. I pay to see that. No, I'm not gonna lie. No. The game is there is serious production value behind it.
Yeah.
And when you see it on the screen, when you listen to the jams that you're listening to, and you just watch it happen. Okay, now I know why this is 39 internet. You know what I mean? Digital, yeah.
Oh, damn it.
I don't even know if they have a physical release. They may, but I don't think so.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I haven't heard anything
I don't
about
think
so.
So no, but honestly, if you I like Tetris. Tetris, I don't care what it says. Tetris is probably one of the oldest and one of the best games.
One of the best puzzle games.
Period. Video games, yeah.
I guess you're right. I was never a huge fan of it or anything like that, but I am a big fan of this guy's work.
I forgot his name. Yeah,
okay, we're gonna have to pull it up because we need to do honors where honors due.
This is true.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, some new stuff to it. First off, it's very res-like, just like the guy you're about to bring up. He made one of the best parts of it. They have some new elements to the way you play it. As pieces are coming down, you have the option of hitting the L1 or R1, and what it does, it will, like that piece, you don't find a place for it, it kind of puts it off to the side for you, and it'll make the next piece come down. You found his name?
I'm hitting the wiki right now because Tetris. Da-da-da-da-da-da. No, this is Tetris, the effect, not Tetris, the game. Apparently, evidently, there is such a thing as the Tetris effect, which occurs when people devote so much time and attention to an activity that it begins to pattern their thought, mental images, and dreams. It takes the name from the video game Tetris. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say right now that your obsession with time and watching movies and playing certain different games, that is having the Tetris effect on you.
Yeah, I would say so.
That is what it is.
Agree.
This is very interesting. I'm gonna have to read
tag that?
a little bit more on that. Yeah, I'm gonna tag this, find more about the Tetris effect.
Should be that one right there. Yeah, that's the one.
Well, this is the game, but it might. This is the game's site. So maybe the graphics are gorgeous,
dude. It is spectacular. It's a look at the awards. It's an awesome visual game. The audio is amazing. It is. I mean, it's honestly, it's just an amazing game, and you will get lost in it. You'll get lost in playing it. You know what I mean? I put it on. I was just gonna put it on for half an hour or something like that. I was like, that's fine. I want to give it a try, dude.
Tetsuya Mitsuguchi.
Mitsugushi's on. Yeah.
I cannot believe I forgot his name.
Know.
I am
when you hear it, you're like,
so
damn.
sorry. Yes, because he did he did Res.
Mm-hmm.
He did oh my goodness, what is this other game that came up for the only good game for Kinect was, and I'm gonna go ahead and put him right now. His references. His games are Luminous actually is there. Yeah.
If
Luminous.
you like the music of Luminous, you will love the music of this.
Yeah, Child of Eden. That's the one I was thinking.
Child of Eden, yeah.
PS3? No, Child of Eden came out to PS3. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I guess it did. Move controls. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it did. It did certainly. E3 or every extent extra, whatever that means. Every extent extra extreme that came out for Xbox 360 in 2007.
Actually, yeah, look at that. 2007 was his last game that he was involved with, I guess, in any major fashion. And he jumps to 2018 to do Tetris Effect.
And then he jumps. Yeah. Meteors was another great one. We probably didn't play this, but I actually demoed it. At some point, I played Meteors on Nintendo DS.
Oh, okay.
And it was is that level of, and of course, like we mentioned, Res when it came out on Dreamcast and PS2.
Yeah.
Came out with a vibrator.
See, yeah. So the new stuff that they have is I don't forget what it's called, but basically you're able to put one piece away, and then the next piece will come in. But it'll allow you to do that once for a piece. So you can't go switching back forth, because what it does is, let's say your piece is almost down to the bottom and you decide to put it away, the next piece stops at the top. And so
it's like having time to...
Correct, yeah. So it doesn't let you do... You only need to do it one piece. So it actually works out to fix certain things.
Well, that was actually introduced before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm new to that one.
There was... Because there have been many Tetris games.
The last one I think was Tetris Attack or something like that, which was on PlayStation... I want to say it was on PlayStation 4.
It was probably... there have been a few, and to various degrees of like and dislike. There have been some that have changed the rules to where people are like, this ain't Tetris. This makes no sense. And you would think that there's not much you can change on Tetris, but you'll be surprised of all the changes that they have made on it. I understand that this one does have a very new thing, and I'm trying to find the name of it because I always forget to use it. And the effect.
No, it's not called the effect. Basically, it's almost like a zone. Everything freezes, and now when you make a line, doesn't matter where you make the line. If you make the line at the very top and there's a bunch of spaces in between, that full line drops to the bottom. So every line you make starts to stack down to the bottom, but it doesn't clear it out. It's just kind of stacking, and you're.
That reminds me of Luminous.
Well,
it's not the same thing.
No, so. Anyway, it's a new effect. I always forget to use it because it helps you clear out and obviously helps your high score and all that stuff. But I cannot recommend this game more because
really?
What I'm playing is the journey mode, which is like the story mode.
Yeah.
The only
The
thing
story mode.
it's not really a story mode, but it's like a
Because
path.
we were joking about that. About you telling me that it has a campaign.
No, there's no actual campaign. It's just, but you're
it's the career mode.
Yeah, you're almost like. So when you look at the map of what you're doing, it's the Milky Way, and you're hitting little star systems, and each star system is a new area, basically, right?
So let me ask you: does it have fast travel?
Yeah, because you can go back at any point, right?
All right, good.
So
they call it warp travel.
The way it's divided, it's like each stage or each group of stages are like between 3 and 4 stages. Mm-hmm. So you'll start one, and then it'll tally up everything from the 3 that you did, and it ends to the next group, right? It gets hard, fast, and out of nowhere, but it matches the music. The music, dude, is what gets you going. And there was a stage.
You're making me want to jump into rest now.
So there's a stage which I actually posted on our
group?
YouTube on our YouTube channel of this hard stage, basically. And let me tell you, when that music starts jumping, they come flying down, dude. They just like click, 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 click. You know what I mean? Like one after the other. You're like, holy shit. And it'll do it. It does it with the music. Like there's this one stage where it's starting off medium, and then it kind of goes into soft little music, and now it's like a slower speed, and then boom, boom, boom. You know, and everything's coming. I'm like, holy shit. So it goes with the music, and the music is just the shit, dude. I mean, I can't explain better than that to say. You know what? I will in the next between the next segment. I'll put in that video of the one, and you just tell me if that's not does not get you ready to play that shit.
At the very least, I'll get the soundtrack. It seems to me like I should be listening.
It does get hard, but it's not unbeatable, and because it's so mesmerizing, you don't want to stop. Like I failed like a stage, dude. Seriously, at least 15, 20 times in a row. Like, screw this stage. All right, let me try it again. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's so good, dude. It's so good. I was playing that on the other day when we were kind of in our group chat, and I think it was Chaos. He was like, "You're playing Tetris?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is amazing, dude." And I had let go of Red Dead, and I'm being honest with you, there was not a big gap, but it was kind of a major gap between Red Dead and Tetris, and going back to Red Dead. I was just like, you know what I mean?
That's what it is. Tetris is messing up you're scrapping up your style with Red Dead. That's why you can't mess with the controllers.
No. Although anyway, it is very good. I can definitely recommend
Tetris Effect. I am very interested. The only thing, I'm doing it more for the music and for the producer than for Tetris itself. Mm-hmm. So if this game would have been $30, that would have been like the okay price to get it. That
is a sweet spot, which you mentioned last week. Yeah. But again, because of the production value, because it does have a PlayStation VR support, which grant you don't need to play it. No. But the fact is, again, it's there. They have to make it. They have to include it. You know, they have to. There's production time behind it, so I can understand. But like, well, since we have to recoup whatever. You know,
it's a shame that they didn't do it. But like, okay, we'll say you that $30 for it. But if you want the PlayStation VR support,
they could have done that
you pay a DLC of $10. Of course, that would have been business-wise, that would have been done for them. But who knows?
Because nobody. I mean,
some people could be in the fence of, I don't know. I'll wait until it goes down in price.
This could be the pushing point, especially now with a lot of these PlayStation VRs for Black Friday coming out at $200.
Oh yeah,
it's like
it's happening.
Yeah, so it's like okay, that makes sense. Cool. And plus this is exclusive to PlayStation, so that's the only VR you're going to be able to play it on, at least for now. But anyway. Very cool game.
Do we know if it's a locked exclusive or is it time exclusive?
That I don't know, and you can probably look into that Wikipedia. Although I don't think it's going to mention it there. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
Depends on the publishing deal.
I mean, PlayStation's publishing them probably. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, at that point. Yeah.
But yeah, Tetris Effect really cool. Watched a few things, but nothing really major. I did want to point out because I didn't know that no one knew, but Voltron on Netflix is really freaking good. All right, I just finished season 1. All right, and it's weird because I kind of left it off at a not a low point, but of a slow point because it's kind of introducing everybody in the first 4 or 5
So
episodes.
you have watched it when it came out originally. And you just
I'm just finishing the very first season.
Oh,
There's 7 seasons for the record.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Oh wow. Yeah.
there's
That's
a lot
right.
of them.
Yeah.
And the episode sizes are perfect because they go with the story.
Right.
Season 1's 11 episodes. Season 2's 13. Season 3 is only 7. Season 4 is only 7. Season 5 is like
Are the
8 or
episodes
9.
longer because of that?
No,
or
they're
just
like
the-
22, like a regular 22, 23 minutes long. So you can burn through them quick, but they're very good. I was talking with Giovanni on the group. And we're talking about how Netflix, man, they got some good anime. Castlevania's out. That's like the next one I'm going to try to burn through now. Season 2. I already saw season 1.
Yeah.
Anime, dude, on Netflix.
Who would have thought?
Shout out to fucking Netflix, dude. I'm actually enjoying some of the stuff. Now again, my problem is my wife doesn't fucking like that shit, so I got to watch that when she's not.
Is it
when we're not
Japanese
watching.
animation though?
This is the.
'Cause people don't be calling anime to just animation.
No. Okay. Well,
Anime
excuse me.
is anime.
There are some. They're going to. First off, there's several Japanese anime exclusive content to Netflix.
There you go.
Which I do have on my list to watch because I do watch them. I do want to watch them, I should say. But these are more collaborations. These actually is the same makers and animators who did the Last Airbender. Which is Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
They're also the ones who are doing the Dragon Prince, which just came out. It's already getting great reviews. Castlevania. Castlevania actually is Adi Shankar, which, dude, he just announced, spoilers for one of the news pieces, Devil May Cry
Devil May Cry's
series.
happening.
You know what I mean? And it's going to
That's
be
crazy.
the cool fucking Dante, sir. That's what
they're gonna bring DMC.
No.
Oh, they're gonna bring
I said the
stupid
cool
Dante.
I'm sorry.
No,
the
I'm sorry.
cool
That
Dante.
well, see, you got me confused because the cool Dante
No.
is actually the
That's-
black hair.
that's the
DMC
emo
one.
Dante.
No, well,
Emo Dante
that
does
is
not
the
count.
cool emo Dante. I mean, what are you talking? I'm sure you're not referring to stupid Dante.
I'm referring to cool Dante, sir.
By the way, Gilberto is already screaming in my ear for saying this, and I get it. You guys like bad stuff, you know.
Oh, here we go.
So that's your Dante, but not my Dante.
It's everyone's Dante, sir.
I'll tell you what, the DMC Dante, the DMC Dante. To be fair, now I'm going to talk serious. I do realize that the DMC Dante has some low points. All right, I'm not crazy. I just act that way for show. But that said, I will still take DMC Dante over stupid, slimy, dumb one-word
Slimy.
stupid shit. The Dante of Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And 4, yeah.
And who
And
knows
the next
if,
one.
if the next one, yeah, right. And they got the next one, but I'm willing to give the next one an opportunity if they don't use the same voice actor or they make it substantially different to where I don't have to think of him as the sequel of the other ones, even though technically it is.
the douchebag sequel.
Yes. This is, I can't even.
Fair enough.
I can't even.
So yeah, that's all I've been doing.
Why are you doing this? I gotta know, what's your MO? What gets you out of that twin bed in the morning?
Because I've been me my whole life, and I've had these powers for 6 months. I read books, I build computers, and yeah, I would love to play football, but I couldn't then, so I shouldn't now.
Sure, because you're different.
Exactly. But I can't tell anybody that, so I'm not. Look, when you can do the things that I can, but you don't, and then the bad things happen, they happen because of you.
We are back, guys, and we are going to take a moment here to remember a very important person in the industry of entertainment, comic books, and just many things. I'm sure you've heard earlier this week, Wednesday, I believe it was, Stan Lee passed away at the age of 95. It's very sad, but one can definitely make the argument that he had an extremely fulfilling life. And he's brought, countless joy to everyone. There was this wonderful tweet from his the real Stan Lee, at the real Stan Lee, which is his Twitter handle. or whoever was handling his Twitter. Obviously, he had
Right.
people to do so. And it was a wonderful thing where there was a video of him. It was sort of kind of recording him right before they started an interview with him. And he was just going over how much fandom meant to him and what he was like. He was basically like, these fans are everything. I mean, you know what I mean? And it's just wonderful. I actually posted it on the group. I don't know if you saw it, but it's really, really wonderful. And to think of someone like that who brought so much to this culture that we have right now, and to know that he made it. I think no one has discussed it, but I mean I'm pretty sure Avengers, the last Avengers film was already filmed. They already finished wrapped up filming on that, and he's most likely his final cameo will probably be in that, or at least something would be. But it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. I mean,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that and say, thank you to Stan for everything, for bringing us these wonderful universes that we love to get lost in and argue about as to who's more powerful than who. You know what I mean? Silly stuff that he enjoyed, man. He enjoyed it, and so
I can't imagine. It's very difficult for me to envision someone someone that has had so much emphasis on pop culture in general, like his creation, his imagination, have created a lot of the heroes that obviously we grew up with a whole generation, doing it
Several
for
generations,
several generations. They have always there was always emphasized. Doesn't matter how things are, how difficult humanity dealings are, especially nowadays in the world that we live in. It's very poignant on shining a light on the good of humanity. The fact that there is hope. The fact that they are these hope figures that not only are there to save to save the earth whenever it's in trouble,
exactly.
or something like that, or capture criminals or stuff like that, but also become almost like role models. In a way, because all the superheroes, it almost follows a formula that where regardless of the imagined upbringing of each of them, they have stuff to deal with just like human, just like humans do, just like regular humans do. So he almost in a way there are a lot of things that we're taught. Through these creations, and he was definitely a visionary.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He created, countless universe as you mentioned, and not only that, but even later in his life, where he could have. I mean, he was already. Some might say he had it all in the sense of it was he has his wife, who unfortunately passed away semi-recent also.
Yeah.
So he lived a fulfilling life, and he was very well to do, obviously, because of the money from all these properties and stuff like that. So he could have actually taken a role of just an observer or just put my name and forget it.
Yeah.
But no, you'll see him at
all the
con
cons,
events.
all the cons, man.
He'll be there for the fans, just like you mentioned. And even the things with the movies, with all the appearances that he will make, it's almost like the movies were playing homage. And what an amazing thing that he got to. For example, in the closing of, let's say, I know not enough about comics, but I have to imagine that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is like the greatest achievement of movie movie and
absolutely
of the marrying of movies and comics, because obviously there have been a lot of movies based on comics,
but not a universe.
But this universe, this way of making films that are pretty much being followed by a lot of other properties now.
Trying to, anyway, yeah.
Trying to, yeah. This is something that he at least got to see up to its completion, you know? And I'm sure that doesn't matter how the next Avengers, ends, and we're making it, a point of the next Avengers because that's supposed to be like the closing of this particular 10-year
10-year storyline.
10-year storyline. Yeah. Not the end of all Marvel,
correct?
Obviously,
yeah.
but this story that they've been telling about the Infinity Stones and stuff like that, however you feel about at the end, I know that there's a part that you're gonna cry now, which is when they do that. It's gotta happen. That amazing tribute, to him. So yeah, may he rest in peace.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stan Lee.
Well deserved. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for sharing with us those amazing universes.
Your imagination.
And he takes with him all the secrets. Also, we might never know which character was more powerful than whatever other character or this or that.
He had all those answers.
That'd be up to us, yes. But at the end, he had all those answers. So
yeah. Rest in peace, Stanley.
Rest in peace.
So now we're going to go into our trailer of the week.
Hot trailer of the week.
I think you jumped the segment there, sir.
Hot trailer of the week.
Oh, hot trailer. Oh, yes. All right, we'll call it hot trailer. I actually dug this one, guys. Hot trailer of the week is going to be Detective Pikachu.
What else was it going to be?
It wasn't going to be Dumbo, guys. It sure was not going to be that.
No.
Sir, we watched the trailer.
I had not watched the trailer because, again, I am Pokemon ambivalent. I don't care about Pokemon.
Ambivalent. I like
Never did. It was... I know there's some of you that think of me as a hater. I like that you think that way, actually.
You enjoy being in that field.
I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind being the Pokemon hater because as we were having a very a heated discussion on one of our chats, I think that the property itself is just cheap. It's cheaply made, and there is little imagination on the creation of these little characters. That said, I saw this trailer for the first time just now.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit that I am very curious about where this is going. If anything, not so much for the fact that it's Pokemon, but for the fact that it seems so stupid. To me, this is just me talking. Of course, this is not in any way your opinion. It looks so stupid that it's almost brilliant. And the fact that they have freaking
Ryan
Reynolds as the voice of Pikachu.
Yes. Let that sink in for a moment, guys.
I'm thinking I kind of heard that, but I think it was like it was just like a joke. Because again, I wasn't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't until he started talking, and on the trailer, he's like, "Oh, you understand me?"
Yeah.
Because everybody else just hears "Pika Pika," just like we are used to.
Just like the cartoons and everything. Yeah.
Well, he has the voice of Deadpool pretty much on it.
Yes, that's the
and that is like, you know what? This might be one of those things where they take a property that you're like. That at least I am like, oh, whatever. Come on. Of course that we're going to do a cash grab. This is going to be so stupid. And then they turn it into this amazing thing that you just have to watch.
I honestly, I agree, sir. So I didn't think live action Pokemon didn't scream a movie I need to see.
No.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So when I watched the trailer,
and again, animation would have fared better with me.
With you.
If you needed to do something different, I think this would have been the okay route.
Perhaps. Although I would love to see a Studio Ghibli.
No,
I would definitely love to see. But anyway, moving on to the live action. I got to the end of that trailer, and the first time I watched it, which I'm now probably on my third or fourth, it looks way better than it should. I was like, this looks way better than I thought in any way imagined it would be, and I cannot wait to hear what Jigglypuff sounds like. He has a moment, or she or it has a moment at a bar table, and it just turns around and gives you the weird stink eye, and I'm like, Yeah,
Sir,
I'm down with this.
Jiggy Plus is gender neutral. I have you know.
Okay, well, here we go.
So,
We're not gonna bring that into this movie, guys.
well, you know they're gonna.
No,
No,
God.
the thing that just like you mentioned, just it shouldn't have it shouldn't
It
work.
feels like it shouldn't work.
It shouldn't work. And when I saw, I believe it was Chaos Reaper's post of this looks better. Does this look better? I don't know if he made it in the form of a question or a statement, but it was pretty much like, this looks better than I anticipated it was going to be. And I'm like thinking like, no, come on.
Yeah. I said the same thing, and I was like, wow. I just now
Pokemon live action movie where Pikachu is a detective. Come on. But you know what?
It works. Yeah, it just works, man. I don't know.
It works. It works as well as if suddenly, I don't know, they took freaking Dora the Explorer and then make it into a James Bond type movie or something.
Oh,
like
wow.
that.
Definitely stretching just a little bit there.
Well, I mean, I would call this a stretch. And
honestly, no, because the rest of the world is the rest of the world, all these Pokemon exist. They're literally walking in the streets.
They're walking in the streets, exactly.
So,
and it looks very fake. Obviously, because there's just
because the characters look animated. You know, they look animated.
That's my point. So it is literally the Space Jam situation or the Who Framed Roger Rabbit situation. Yes,
dude, go back and look at those films.
I know, I know, but what I'm trying to say is putting regular humans next to cartoons. There's no way to make that look natural and acceptable.
I think Pikachu looks very natural, sir.
Oh man,
fur and all, bro.
You are, see,
which evidently is a point of contention for a lot of people.
Well, exactly.
Everybody's like, why is he furry? And I'm like, isn't he a mouse?
He's supposed
to be furry.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's not Pokemon lore.
Yes, he should just look like a hand-drawn creature.
I know.
I don't know. I dug it. I love the moment. I love the moment that, and I think I want to say I did see a meme or something like that. There's a moment where you see all these. Oh gosh, I forgot their names now, but they're the green ones that have the little flower on the backs.
Are you serious? Are you seriously asking me about Bulbasaur?
No. But you know what I'm talking. Bulbasaur, thank you. Yeah.
God damn it!
So
I was not supposed to know that.
So it's a string of Bulbasaurs, and then they cuts to a picture of Jurassic Park guy going, they do walk in herds. It's so good. I'm loving it, dude.
But it's good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I completely dig it. I am all in. I'm putting all my chips in. I need to watch. It's gotta
be good.
I watched it with my wife, and she almost left the room without saying.
I think she did leave the room.
Yeah, she was not. There was not, because again, it's
Pokemon.
It doesn't look like anything, but it could be funny.
Really
and
good. It looks really good.
I like I like good comedies. And this looks like it will have those points where it'll be.
This looks like a fun CG romp. Yeah. You know what I mean? With your characters of the thing, and it looks like they're using real locations from the game as well. Because I saw he was looking at the championship and all that stuff, the map and all that. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is cool. And Ken Watanabe's in it. Come on now. Ken Watanabe is. I mean, you see him. That's Oscar. Gold right there. Come on now. So,
I'm all in. Do we have an idea when this is coming?
Yes, Detective Pikachu is coming to theaters May of 2019, guys.
Oh wow! Wait a minute. Is it put it? No. When is Avengers?
I think Avengers is April.
April. Oh shoot.
Yeah.
That's
there's two different. Yeah. One has nothing to do with the other.
You don't want to get Avengers is the Red Dead of movies.
I don't think they have to worry.
I don't know.
No, I don't think they have to worry, sir. So let's get into some news, sir.
Let's get into some news.
First piece of news. Evidently, there was a special event over the last weekend, November 10th had XO18 in Mexico City.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Xbox.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing.
2 hours long. Can we call it a conference?
It was a showcase.
I know. I think
it was a celebration of Xbox.
It was a celebration of Xbox.
Yeah.
Yes, many people enjoyed said celebration.
I heard
of Xbox.
that they voiced the audience too much to the point where
They were booing? No.
The presentation. No, again, this was not Diablo Immortal.
I know.
Where the presentation was either not, you can hear a lot of it.
Oh,
I
okay.
understand, but maybe I don't know if this was on everywhere, or just the one place that streamed it, which I'm sure it was Mixer. And
Mixer, yeah.
Probably.
Good old Mixer.
I don't know.
So I'm going to brush through some of the major things that got announced, I guess we can call it. We'll call it announced. Why not?
Are they announced if they have already been announced, though? Or, well, I guess the
don't know.
features, because, yeah, go ahead.
All right, so first one up, we got Forza Horizon 4 is getting its first expansion in the form of Fortune Island, which is scheduled to debut on December 13th. I think they already mentioned this before.
Well, we know, but they have a season pass, so of course something was going to come out.
Oh, obviously. They have to have something for the season pass.
Yes. But that said, I haven't bothered to watch a trailer for it because what is it going to be?
Cars racing.
It's
what
cars
else is it
racing,
going to show?
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan. Don't get me wrong, but
No, hey.
I know what a car
But they
looks
all
like.
they all look good, you know.
Yeah.
It's not going to look bad.
Yeah.
Xbox One and Windows 10 PCs. It will take players on an adventure through the British Isles, which will be riddled with lightning storms, dangerous cliffside dirt roads, and the mountains, all punctuated by the beautiful glow of the Aurora Borealis. I have no idea what that is.
The Aurora Borealis? Yeah, you ever seen that effect? It tends to happen a lot in like the Arctic
north?
places.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
where you see
the
like
Northern
waves.
Lights. Yeah.
You see
Gotcha.
kind of like the waves in the sky.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. But the expansions Forza Horizon 3 were pretty neat. One of them was in like the snow, so it was everything based in snow, and then the second one was the Hot Wheel one, which you were literally on one of those. It was imagine the Hot Wheel.
The Hot Wheel,
what do you call
the pack,
those?
yeah.
Yeah. What do you call those? You put them togetger, la pita. What do you call those?
The tracks.
The tracks, yeah. So imagine those plastic tracks, but big orangey plastic, life size, exactly. Like put everywhere, and you were racing on them. How awesome is that? And also they were super pain, and I did not enjoy that.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I probably wasn't doing it right.
Could be.
Anyway,
Microsoft announced that Minecraft surpassed 91 million monthly players recently.
Because that is an announcement that the fans care about.
91 million monthly players probably care about it.
Yeah, but they didn't start that. Let's say they picked it at probably like 89 or
I would
something.
say more like 60, but yeah, probably.
Minecraft was a big thing before Microsoft bought it.
True, but one can say they made it bigger.
Sure, I guess.
State of Decay 2, players got a brief look at the Zed Hunter pack that's coming to the game November 16th, which adds a crossbow weapon and a new set of melee weapons, blood play consumables, facilities, and gameplay updates that will let you respect skill for the main game. Okay. So good stuff coming to State of Decay 2. Devil May Cry producer Matt Walker was on hand to chat with director Hideki Itsuno from Capcom's head office in Osaka, Japan, to discuss how the game takes inspiration from its surroundings. That's really it. They also introduced the Void mode and a new training option for Devil May Cry, as well as the bonus Devil Breaker weapons that come to the deluxe edition of Devil May Cry 5.
So, question. Is this indicating or in any way making us think of a marketing campaign with Microsoft and Capcom for Devil May Cry?
There's nothing.
Because that would be cool.
I mean,
for them,
it would be. Obviously, it is. They announced it there, and it's not like Sony has anything else to come announce stuff.
Yeah.
But so it could be. Doesn't mean it's not coming to. It's not going to come to.
Yeah, exactly. It's not an exclusive. It's not even a time exclusive.
But they're definitely partner up at least for the announcement. Yeah. Bandai Namco was in attendance to give fans their first look at SSGSS Vegeta
Okay.
and Golden Frieza in Jump Force. SSGSS stands for something specific to Dragon Ball Z. I have no idea what it is.
Oh, I thought you said SS stands for something specific. I'm like, oh, so you know what it stands for?
Sure.
Something specific.
And the Shadow of the Tomb Raider narrative director Jason Dosais and senior associate producer Joe Dohan showed off the first of the seven monthly DLCs for the game The Forge.
Oh, wow. Wait, the game The Forge? Is
Forge,
that a different game?
Yeah, The Forge. You haven't heard of The Forge?
I have no idea what The Forge is, sir.
Well-
Please enlighten me.
Honestly, I don't know much of The Forge myself, but it's getting 7 DLCs. So
Wow.
obviously people are wanting it. Kingdom Hearts 3 was showcased during the event with a new trailer that brought back Winnie the Pooh and heroes from the movies like Big Hero 6, Tangled, and Pirates of the Caribbean.
So, Hijo de Pooh?
Hijo de Pooh, indeed.
Hijo de Pooh's going to be
As is Hercules and Toy Story World as well. Microsoft also confirmed mouse and keyboard support will be coming to Xbox One next week, which probably is this week because this was last weekend.
It's out.
Oh, yeah.
It's out already.
With certain titles enabled at launch for the Xbox Insiders, Fortnite will be one of the first ones to offer, along with Bomber Crew, Deep Rock Galactic, Strange Brigade, Vermintide 2, War Thunder, and X-Force Defense getting support in November. Children of Morta, DayZ, Minion Master, Moonlighter, Vigor, Warface, and War Groove should receive support in the future. All right, coming to the end here of some of their stuff. The Xbox Adaptive Controller will be launching worldwide in 17 markets in 2019. No specific date, just the year. This includes Mexico. It will become available in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, China, Colombia, Hong Kong, Hungary, Israel, Japan, Slovakia, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Taiwan, Turkey, and the UAE. I don't know what UAE
United
is.
Emirates.
Who?
The United Emirates.
Emirates. Oh.
The Arabic, I think.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And of course, more to come on that. And on Saturday, the final day, I think it was the final day, Microsoft also announced that it was officially purchasing InXile. Or Insile?
Insile. Yeah.
Insile Entertainment and Obsidian. They showed off a new title called Void Bastards. They debuted the release date of Crackdown 3, details in additions to the game Xbox Game Pass program, and announced a new DLC expansion for Sea of Thieves. And then, of course, showed off a new Battlefield 5 trailer. And those are the highlights, sir.
Okay, so where are the 2 hours here? Because I feel
I just said right there. I guess so.
no. And I don't mean I'm not trying to bring the hate or anything like that. Sure. I'm going to.
For the record, I wanted to throw out there real quick. Crackdown 3, February 15, 2019.
Oh yes, they announced something. Is that the release?
That's the release.
Release. Okay. Then there's not sleeping again.
They didn't say that, but
they can't afford. They definitely cannot afford to miss this. But no, what I'm trying to say is that all the announcements here sounded like something that you just could have put on a press release. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an ass or to be mean to Microsoft, but they announced an X08. They announced something for the fans to get really excited, and people are thinking like, wow, this is perhaps this is the one where they actually talk about the new projects that they have. And I'm not expecting them to have anything from the company they just recently purchased, but at least give us a glimpse into something a little bit more exciting than, oh, by the way, this game is getting a DLC that the game that's released already and that is getting a DLC.
Yeah, because they already had those plans laid out.
Crackdown 3, yeah, we're still making that game, by the way. It's just, it's going to take a little bit longer. So here are his 45 minutes of the multiplayer because whatever, jazz hands. In what's the other one? Devil May Cry 5. Unless that is a marketing partnership, it doesn't sound like it is. There is like no reason for it to have to be featured there in particular.
Yeah.
In particular. Like what I'm trying to say is that none of this sounded like announcement they couldn't have been put on a press release and leave it out, not make a whole event about nothing, because I mean, and it's not like this would have completely saved it or anything like that, but obviously people are waiting to hear news about Halo Infinite. How come there was absolutely nothing on Halo Infinite? If you were gonna have an event like this and have this mediocre, tepid announcements, then at least you close with that, and then you're like, okay, but at least we got to see Halo Infinite. We still don't know we don't have an idea of what that looks like. If the development is coming halfway, you know. So what was the point? In reality,
honestly, I don't know. I'm sure everyone who was there and attended, had a good time, and they're obviously going to put on a good show for those in attendance. For watching it on Mixer or streaming it in any way, I don't know. Unless you just want to tune in to see what they're doing, but apparently Inside Xbox does that every week or something like that, or at least every month. Which,
They have an outing. The problem is they're preaching to the choir. I don't think they're reaching out. I don't think their efforts do enough to reach out to to other gamers that are not already fans of Xbox.
I don't think that was what X018 was for, though.
Well, I mean,
because if you can only stream it on Mixer,
they literally no, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. This is for their players.
People, that's what I'm saying.
And they have it in Mexico, which is a market that is dominated by Xbox, of the few countries that that ever are. It just, I don't know. I was not after I reviewed all the announcements, I was like, well, I didn't have to watch this because obviously there wasn't really
not for 2 hours
anything in particular that was exciting to announce. This is something that Sony would have been criticized if they had that weak level of showing into an experience.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then I'm okay with them canceling the experience because they really don't have anything new to announce.
Correct.
In this case, there was nothing new to announce here.
Yeah.
There was nothing particularly new to announce.
Except for the acquisition of the
purchase,
two.
Yeah, and that's more corporate stuff.
Correct.
This is not to downplay Exile. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Exile and Obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
Those are great gets. Obsidian.
Oh yeah.
Of Fallout New Vegas, Knights of the Old Republic 2. These are RPG deers, basically, which unfortunately both of them came out super buggy as hell, super janky. Even as they were getting fixed, their storytelling was superb, and enough to carry this game, to have it on people's memories as these are RPG darlings, what we have. And Exile, also a very good studio. Brian Fargo, original creators of the Fallout series. You might have heard about that, that Fallout that Bethesda has, and they're running to the ground with Fallout 76. Well, that's another thing. That's another subject.
It's a whole different,
yes, those are good, cool gets, but you really don't have anything to show from them just yet. And this looks like it's meant to bolster more the PC establishment, because that they're trying to bring Xbox. What is the program called? Xbox
Game Pass
to PC.
Yeah.
Or they have it in a certain way. They have it, but they need to bring more games. So if they can bring suddenly, I don't know if they will do exclusives or anything like that with this company. They better not. I really hope they wouldn't. Oh, it doesn't matter, honestly, because as long as it's on PC, it doesn't matter if it's coming from the Microsoft Store, if it's coming from Steam, if it's coming from Uplay, whatever. It's still on PC, so it's not like you're blocked from playing it. But this looks like this is not necessarily to bolster the Xbox console as much as the Xbox ecosystem in general, which is fine, because when you think about it, that is their strategy. I believe there were, don't quote me, this was somewhere, I've read somewhere, there was a quote of someone from Microsoft saying that they're not trying to compete with Sony, anymore. Well, obviously, that's the
clear.
best thing that you do. That's clear, because you can't. At this point,
Well, for this generation,
for this generation, you cannot. Well, all you can do, dust yourself up, and get ready for the next generation and come out like super balling, like you gotta be what PlayStation was at the PlayStation announcement.
Mm-hmm.
So
You gotta be
not only
prepared.
you have to
can't come in with with not man you gotta be ready.
Not only
you gotta be ready.
Not only you have to have a stellar show to the likes of being amazing, you also have to hope that your competitor in Sony will drop the ball so hard with with the return of arrogant Sony. You have to hope for that if you're Microsoft and you're trying to have a good a good E3, not a good E3 but a good launch,
yeah.
a good launch of your next console. Yeah, the planets align perfectly for Sony. It has to happen for Microsoft again, and the chances of that.
And the truth is,
realistic.
that's just going with history. I don't want to take out of it. Just going on history. Usually, the next console generation leader is usually a Switch. It switches over to somebody new. I think in PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2.
I thought you meant like the Nintendo Switch.
No.
Because that should have been the whole time. Anyway, yeah. So Xbox, I guess that was a show. So another thing, keeping in with Microsoft, very dear and personal to me. Microsoft vows to improve Windows App Store with gamers in mind. As you guys might not be aware, the Windows Store, the Microsoft Store, also known as the Windows Store, it's pretty lame, pretty janky, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. So many PC gamers shy away from the Microsoft Store, also known as the Windows Store, and for good reason. It frequently doesn't support overlays or other commonly used features, and is buggy compared to other platforms like Steam. Thankfully, Microsoft might just feel their pain. In talks at XO18, Xbox lead Phil Spencer said that he had heard the feedback about the store and vowed to make it, quote, tailored to the games that we know we want to see at their best. He did not like what those changes were going to be, but he promised that they were going to take a bigger leadership role into the developing of the improvement towards the Windows Store.
To the market, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why this is very clear to me. As you know, obviously, I do like my PC games. And with the exclusive Xbox game being available for PC, I use the Windows Store, for them. It is pretty much a catastrophe compared to... you would think they make freaking Windows. This is bundled with Windows. And this is a store where you will think that will make it as easy and as painless as possible to acquire, the apps, the games, or everything from there. As opposed to having gamers go out to steampower.com, download Steam, and get their games from there, right?
It's a lot easier that way.
Well, let me tell you the problem with Windows, because this week I was awake until 2 a.m. with Microsoft support. I have never had to deal with Microsoft support for anything on anything. I needed to download. I realized that I was not able to download the games that I have purchased already, because I installed Forza Horizon 4 a while back, but then I wanted to reinstall Gears of War, again, and some of the games that Gears of War 4, and some of the games that I own, that I have the space now to add them. So I kind of wanted them back just in case I wanted to jump in or at least see how they run or whatever. And that started like around 9. I was just let's say 10 o'clock. I was planning on just leaving the computer downloading and going to bed. It was 2 a.m. because I could not figure out and I could not leave it. And anything that I tried to download, no matter how big or small it was giving me this weird error message. I rebooted.
This from the Windows Store?
From the Windows Store. Mm-hmm. I rebooted. I reinstalled the store. I resetted the store. These are things that normal, common folks should not have to, or should not have to deal with when you're going into, like, you don't to Google store, to the Google store and have problems and think, oh shit, well, I have to reset the cache on the store. So let me go open up a terminal and enter this particular code. And like, you shouldn't have to deal with that if all you're trying to do is just purchase a fucking game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, Windows 10 is not new. We've had it for what, 2 years, almost, let's say.
Something like that, yeah.
And I don't know why I have an alarm for now. Maybe it's bedtime. No, I don't know if it's been a while. I mean, even more. They've had the Windows Store since Windows 8, and you're gonna tell me that I still have to re-download the entire 100 gigabytes of Gears of War just because I reinstalled Windows? When on Steam, I get to have all my games on a particular hard drive, and all I have to do when I reinstall Windows and I put Steam again is just point Steam to my fucking library.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to do, and then it recognizes everything, it links everything, it works beautiful, it does the shortcuts. Steven, you're gonna tell me that Windows can't do that to this day? It is ridiculous, dude. It was to the point where I literally had someone like remoting into my computer.
Oh, from
kind of like we do at work. When we have problems with the computer, someone goes in from like whatever land they're at and start like changing stuff and going into the registry. Mm-hmm. And this guy could not figure out what to do. He was telling me, well, we can reinstall Windows again. And at that point, I was like, dude, I'm so sorry, but it's 2 a.m. here in Orlando. I need to go to bed. I think I'll just deal with it tomorrow. Padre carajo, for nothing. Because the next morning, I come in, I try it, and it downloads like that. No issues whatsoever. So you couldn't tell me that the store was down or anything like that.
Guys.
No, you see, these are the things where I cannot argue against it because the Windows Store is down. You know what? PSN has been done. PSN was fucking hacked, so you can't even say that. That said, if PSN is down, what do you get? You get a notification that says,
notifications, hey, things are down.
Things are down. Don't try. Yeah. None of that. Here I was like dismantling on my computer pretty much trying to get Windows Store to work because it doesn't have it doesn't even give you the option to say, hey, Windows is down. Windows Store is down at the moment. Please try. The servers are down because he did mention, in all fairness, and I don't know how I should interpret this. Program cannot be downloaded. Try again later. But what is later? Like what is the? Tell me the status of the servers. Don't give me something that is analogous because that could mean anything. That could mean later as it's gonna work in the morning, or that could mean like, oh, we just can't connect. So I don't know.
It's
try later
on our end or your end, or exactly.
Dude. So to close, to hear Phil Spencer say, "Hey, I'm in charge now of this."
I hear your woes.
First thing you have to do is make sure when you reinstall Windows, you don't have to reinstall every freaking game. Especially if you have it saved on a separate hard drive, just make it point to that hard drive and be like, oh, all the files are here, so I can just grab it. No, what it currently does, which is, oh, there are files here, but they were not of this Windows installation, so I'm just gonna delete them all and re-download them again. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is the stuff that makes Microsoft look really bad.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And scene.
My next piece, guys. The latest Super Data report shows subscription service PlayStation Now ahead of the competition in quarterly revenue.
Shocking.
Yes. According to the Super Data report, game subscription services brought in $273 million during 2013's third quarter. 52% was attributed to PlayStation Now. Sir, I'm a little shocked here because I didn't realize that PlayStation Now was Who used? I need to know, guys.
Wait,
On the group.
wait a minute. We're talking about PlayStation Now?
Now, yes.
That's gotta be that's fake news, bro. That's gotta be some trickery, or they're saying
Super Data Report,
or they're qualifying it with some in the quarter of April 23rd.
I just said that.
To
2013's third quarter.
Oh, that 2013?
2018, excuse me. 2018's third quarter.
2018.
This quarter that just ended.
I don't know. That just sounds like.
Hey, the revenue from PlayStation Now total 143 million, and EA's Access services contributed 90 million, or 33%. The differences in percentage for EA were as follows: EA Access Xbox One was 16%, Origin Access Premier was 9%, and Origin Access PC was 8%. Game Pass contributed 15%, or 41 million, to the overall subscription revenues of quarter 3 of 2018. So, Super Data Report can be found. This is a link, by the way, from VG247. It's interesting because I didn't realize people were using PlayStation Now.
I don't see that. That's what I'm saying. I think this is a.
I mean, first off,
this is some sort of hard qualification because I can't imagine people actively using PlayStation Now at that level.
Let's be real.
What? Wait a minute.
Let's be real.
What is PlayStation Now?
Oh my God! What is? Oh, I have to explain it just so people know. So PlayStation Now is the service that you pay a monthly fee, and you have access to PlayStation 3 games, some PlayStation 2 games, some PlayStation 4 games. They recently included the ability to download PlayStation 4 only games to your console. So similar to the Game Pass in some ways, although a Game Pass is pretty much all whatever 360 titles they have available, you can just download to your Xbox One and play natively right through the console as opposed to streaming. It's also the streaming service that they bought Gaikai for back, God knows how long ago that was now. So it is, and again, 2018's third quarter. Okay, third quarter is July, August, and September. Okay.
Very hard to qualify. If you ask me.
No, I'm just saying, considering how well Game Pass is being received, I literally looked at these numbers going, this can't be right.
Unless there is some small disclaimer that it says, not including Game Pass.
No, you're not listening to what I said.
I know. I did. I'm just saying. It sounds...
One. So here it is. I'm going to read it again.
No.
273 million.
I know.
Made in the third quarter.
Right.
15% of that was Gamescast. Game Pass. Excuse me. And then 52% was PlayStation Now.
See,
now, one can look at it and go, well, PlayStation Now is more expensive. So that's probably why it's getting more money up front. But that said,
what are these numbers exactly? Is what I'm trying to, because if
I will send you the report. You can study it.
No. I'm just trying to understand because nobody talks about PlayStation, and you know that the reason you brought it up is because you're finding it surprising yourself.
I am surprised. Yes, I'm very surprised.
So that's why I'm saying, should we be looking at what exactly they're reporting here? Because if they're reporting revenue, okay, then yeah, if it's more expensive, if the thing is more expensive, it's gonna make more money.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say is that I really didn't think anyone was using PlayStation Now. Right, okay, so I really thought no one was using PlayStation Now, or very few people were using that. We would be like at 20% max of that 270. To find out that half or more than half of digital services that are available is PlayStation, and this is the revenue they're pulling. I'm like, yes, I get the price. I mean, it's $15.
Yeah,
it's $15 a month versus $10 a month for Game Pass. So it's not that big a difference.
It is $5 per for count.
Yes,
of that number is $5 per person.
That doesn't give
more.
You 15% versus 52%. I'm just saying, people are using this service, and I'm shocked that they're using it. That's all I wanted to say. I'm surprised that they're using it.
If any one of you listeners are currently paying
not to mention,
this service,
a streaming service that just changed recently. This is not including, because I want to say it was October-ish that they said that you can now download the games to your console.
If any listeners that actually had this, please let us know.
Please tell me.
If you post a picture of your bill showing that you paid for this,
we don't need to do that.
Mad Dog is going to pay for you next month.
I'm just surprised. I'm just like, I didn't think anybody was using the service, and then that happens. I'm going, what? No.
I'm still what?
Yeah. I'm like, this
But
can't
I'm not
be.
saying no.
Yeah.
It's just well, let me put it this way: when Intel released their latest process, their latest 9900K processor, they make some benchmarks that were everybody understood that were ridiculous, and there was an embargo, nobody could talk about them. Only them could show benchmarks. Well, the embargo was up, and the real benchmarks were done. They discovered all the little qualifiers that they did to try to make themselves look good. That's why.
Well, is this the
I know this is independent.
Super data? Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah, this is independent. But you know what? So was Intel's, because Intel
was independent as well.
They had an independent. Now, mind you, they pay for this independent company to do. So you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying no. But honestly, I'm not saying this is the case. I am just
Super
as
data,
shocked and surprised as
Super
you.
data releases reports all the time. It's
Yeah.
seems to be
I'm not saying.
related.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, because honestly, this doesn't mean anything. At the
No,
end of the day,
it's just,
we
it's just
still don't know
interesting.
anybody.
Yeah. I know. That's for real. I know one person, Tina's dad. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah, the
All
only
right.
person.
We need
He's
to interview
contributing
him.
52%.
We need to interview him on the next show. All right, so let's keep it interesting here. Command and Conquer and Red Alert remasters are being developed by former Command and Conquer devs. This is Command and Conquer. Do you know about Command and Conquer series? So
I know about that mobile game too.
You had to bring it
Hey,
up. I like
they
your style.
wasted my time. I'm gonna waste our time here. So just saying.
Electronic Arts revealed today, or not today. This was actually on November 14. They revealed that the Command and Conquer remasters that it is in October will begin with Tiberian Dawn, the story of the first Tiberian War between the Global Defense Initiative, the GDI, and the Brotherhood of Nod, which is, I always thought that's one of the coolest names for
Brotherhood of Knob.
the Brotherhood of Nod. NOD. It doesn't matter anything.
Okay.
But the guy that played the villain, Kane, he is fantastic. He's one of my favorite villains on on video games. Anyway, the Brotherhood of Nod, that was told in the original Command and Conquer, and the alternate universe. I love that they call it the alternate universe, as if Command and Conquer was, based
Real
on
life,
based
yeah.
on true story. Yeah. The alt universe Command and Conquer Red Alert. She's the one that goes super crazy.
Red Alert. Yep.
I mean, one of the units are dolphins with bombs. That should tell you
Wow.
how crazy it goes. Oh, and they go back in time and kill Hitler, and that makes the
That's
Soviet
always-
Union super powerful suddenly.
That's always a good thing. So.
Yeah. Well, as it'll be proven in Command and Conquer Red Alert, not so much, because now the Soviets became really, really powerful. And
I will take Soviet rule over what. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't we have that already? Anyway, even better, the remastered versions will be done by Petroglyph Games, the studio created by former Westwood employees. Westwood's being, among the other things, the creators of the Command and Conquer series after EA pulled the plug in 2003.
Oh.
That's one of the first casualties of EA. As an added bonus, composer Frank
Kirkpatrick?
No, Klepacki?
He knows who he is.
Frank Klepacki, who made the music for the CNC games and a pile of other World classics, is joining Petroglyph as the composer and audio director on the remastered games. Sir, I am excited about this, if only because first I'm hoping that EA doesn't screw it up. No. I really like those games and the music on it. I actually own the soundtrack of Red Alert. It was a soundtrack that I will listen to, on and on. It's really fun. It's really crazy. So that should be cool, and also it opens the doors to more like classic remasters of that nature. I don't know how. I guess they do have to be close to the original as possible. Otherwise, they would just be remaking. Remaking.
Yeah, I
the
guess
game.
so. Yeah, if
I'm
it's a
not sure.
remaster, then it would be the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with video graphics. Yeah, because I don't know how well it holds. Those graphics hold. Even at the remaster level, those are some tiny soldiers that you control on PC.
Never
and that
been.
game came out to
Never
consoles
been.
too.
Yeah, I'm not that type of gamer for that type of strategy game like that. So
Yeah,
but
they're fun. There's I mean, this
there's a
game
market for them. Yeah.
that got me into like StarCraft. Later on, and of course StarCraft.
Your favorite game ever?
My favorite, my favorite game ever. Original StarCraft. StarCraft 2 was good, was great actually, but not to that level. And now you.
Oh, all right. So I have two pieces. They're both TV related. So I'm just gonna
TV.
back to back here, and these will be my final two. First one, Devil May Cry animated series coming from Netflix Castlevania producer Adi Shankar. I know I mentioned it earlier, but we're mentioning it again.
Yep.
He is the creator, currently executive producer of the animated Castlevania series streaming on Netflix. Adi Shankar, if you didn't know, again, we mentioned this before, made the awesome Power Rangers real world, like gritty and crazy. And he did another one for, what was that, a Punisher. He did the Punisher one, which was also
I saw that one too. That was very
that was him
brutal
too.
yeah.
So, dude, respect to this guy.
good.
The guy freaking loves.
That should be good.
Yeah, he just loves good stuff. And you know what? I love that Netflix is giving him good stuff to to just make. So, he has. They haven't really gone into too much detail. Let me see what it says here. Apologies. An anime series based on the Devil May Cry franchise is being developed by Adi Shankar. Shankar said that he has acquired these rights so Hollywood doesn't fuck this up.
Oh, I love this guy.
Yes, I do love this guy. It's not clear if that's a reference to the creative liberties that Hollywood studios have taken with other Capcom franchises like Resident Evil and Monster Hunter, which, by the way, is coming soon. Also by the makers of Resident Evil. So pretty much it'll be Resident Evil with monsters.
Wow.
With other monsters. He also told IGN that his Devil May Cry series will join Castlevania in what we're now calling the bootleg multiverse. Shankar gained notoriety with a series of unauthorized but graphically violent short films based on Marvel's Venom, The Punisher, Judge Dredd, and the Power Rangers. These shorts existed as a part of what Shankar called his bootleg universe. And he says, let the speculation begin. So awesome stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't really go into when we're looking at what, as far as the series. Castlevania is being renewed for a third season, so that's awesome also as well. And my second piece is Game of Thrones Season 8, final season. Will come in April, guys. April of 2019 will
final
debut.
Season is coming.
The final winter will finally come in April of 2019.
Oh my
it only
God.
took God knows how long.
That's okay. We're still waiting for the books anyway.
9 years for winter to get here.
There you go.
So yes, I'm very excited. Sir, are you going to go back just to catch up to? You don't have to go back to the beginning, but
probably, if only because. Like my wife is super, super excited about about this. She eats up any news that talks about what's gonna happen, what's coming, this and that. But and as I mentioned, I am a big Game of Thrones fan. At least I really like the lore, and I super enjoyed the books, which were huge, and I went through them twice. And then the TV adaptation, it's also it's good. I dropped off a little bit on season 6. I want to say it was maybe. I can't deny that it is obviously something that I want to see how they end it because not that the books will ever be finished, but even if they were gonna be, it's gonna be so different that it's not like spoiling one spoiling the other. You know what I mean? It's like.
Gotcha.
Well, might as well see this.
Yeah,
also, the characters are awesome. They have been awesome. So,
also, a quick addition to that: HBO has begun casting on the first Game of Thrones spin-off series, which will likely debut sometime in 2020.
You're talking about Fear of Game of Thrones?
Fear of Game of Thrones,
That's what
yes.
it's called.
Might as well.
All right, so I want to bring it to reality here.
Okay.
For a couple pieces, since you brought it from game to movies. So, husband and wife have been ordered to pay $12 million to Nintendo for running ROM sites.
Oh, yes. That's what they get.
And, well, you don't ever want to fuck with Nintendo
No,
when it
not
comes
with
to
Nintendo.
that.
Nope.
Not with Nintendo. An Arizona couple has been ordered to pay Nintendo a whopping $12.23 million in damages for running a pair of sites which offer pirated ROMs. That is insane. That is an insane ruling. $12.23 million.
That's not their. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? It's like they're just ROMs, but at the same time, I'm like, they're not your ROMs. Technically,
They're not your ROMs,
Yeah.
and they're also not just ROMs because the ROMs are the property.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Jacob and Christian Matthias admitted to copyright and trademark infringements for operating LoveROMs.com and LoveRetro.co until July of this year when Nintendo intervened. The sites registered under Matthias Design, a company set up by the husband and wife, offered pirated versions of games such as Mario Kart 64, Donkey Kong Country, Pokemon Yellow, and Super Mario World. Both websites were pulled offline when Nintendo threatened the legal action and replaced with a notice saying that they were undergoing maintenance. Now, this eyebrow raising $12.23 million ruling, originally discovered by Torrent Freak, has likely been set as an example to deter others. And that makes sense. Whether the Matthiases will have to actually pay for the full amount, it is not known. Well, I have news for you.
They don't have $12 million.
They're not gonna.
Yeah.
The other cases, because other cases have been quietly settled behind the scenes for much less. Yeah, that is some. I mean, not judging anybody or whatever. Just don't pirate.
Yeah.
Pirating at the end of it all, it's stealing, and it hurts the industry that you're a fan of. If you listen to the podcast, it's very likely that you like the gaming industry. And granted, yes, I understand that there are times where it looks like the gaming industry is trying to actually steal from us, but they don't literally steal from us.
You still have to give them the money.
It's still being your choice to give them the money. And if you do that, then it's not stealing. It's not stealing if you leave your everything open, or whatever. They overstep some bounds every now and then. Sad news for those who were hoping that there was going to be some sort of revival for Telltale. After some uncertainty, I have the unfortunate thing to tell you that Telltale game is closing for good. The end has come to Telltale Games, which is now in the process of winding down completely. Representative of the consulting firm Sherwood Partners told GameDaily.biz that is handling the company's liquidation, while former employees said that the company's legally mandated COBRA health insurance will come to an end on November 30th. Telltale is now in assignment proceedings, which the site explained is different from bankruptcy proceedings, but it leads to essentially the same results: a sell off of the company's assets with money raised going to creditors.
What assets do they have? That's my question. They don't even own IP.
Well, I guess their engine. They have stuff that. No,
I'm sorry.
Honestly,
I don't mean to laugh at that, but the engine that we all like, really, guys, you need to fix this engine. We'll sell it.
That gets applied some value, and then it gets put on the
stuff,
and then it gets to creditors, and also, and I would imagine the dailies, the stuff that they desk.
Yeah,
chairs,
well, obviously,
stuff like that.
Usual heart, yeah.
So those are those are. This comes. This comes. I mean, this is a shame because I believe there was at some point talks of, or at least hopes that somebody will come in and kind of like save the company. If anything, just buy the name, maybe? Buy the
Well, I think the first hopes, which
THQ Nordic. Where were you?
Jesus Christ, here's the difference. THQ Nordic knows not to bring on. It's a news item that I don't have, and I'll have to bring it up next week because I don't have it right now. But evidently, they're doing very well. THQ Nordic, believe it or not.
Oh yeah,
but,
I just saw that they keep growing.
Oh,
which is like
not just the acquisitions. They're like 1,400% year from year, from last year to this year in revenue. I'm like, holy mother!
This could become.
How is this working?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think last year, what revenue did they have him? They were new,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It could be that, but I don't know. It's an interesting story for them. But no, for Telltale, it is a shame. What I think a lot of people were hoping for was, one, that the company would be able to pay for these people, for the people who got laid off,
Yeah.
for their salaries and benefits and stuff like that, at least through that time that they're supposed to be paid for. And then secondly, maybe even, finishing the game that they, which I think they did. There is a company that picked that up to try to finish it, but who knows if that's ever going to happen. So
It is, yeah, it is. And I don't know if this is related to the liquidation, but a couple of their games, Jurassic Park, the game, Tales of Monkey Island, and Back to the Future, the game, they have been delisted already from Steam.
from Steam, yeah.
And I mean, the owners of them can still download them, but you can't purchase it, obviously.
it. Yeah, because the license goes away. The
Yeah.
license, was, or
I mean, they're still
sort
available
of
on other platforms, though. They're still available on other platforms
for now.
for now.
Yeah,
For now. My next piece, I see. I had a little bit more this time. Thornbreaker, The Witcher Tales hasn't sold well as CDPR expected. Thornbreaker, The Witcher Tales, despite very positive, despite the very positive reviews that they've been getting, have not been a success to CD Projekt Red, or at least not the success they expected. CEO Adam told investors the game appealed to the community, which drove up our expectations regarding sales. Unfortunately, as of yet, these expectations have not been fulfilled. Bleszinski said he remained optimistic, however, and expect CD Projekt Red will sell Thornbreaker for many years despite a slow start. CD Projekt Red hopes that the upcoming console release will help sales, and despite the original's GOG exclusivity, Thornbreaker appear on Steam this week. Well, make it available if you want to sell.
It's on
make it available to
PlayStation,
the
so
people.
how is it exclusive? Oh, I guess exclusive is on PC.
On PC.
The GOG. Okay,
Yeah,
that
PC
makes
was
sense.
GOG. You could only get it from GOG. While some small games can carve out a niche outside of Steam, and titles like Battlefield 5 don't need the platform, Thornbreaker sits somewhere in the middle, part of a popular series that is not a huge deal on its own. That game. Not that obviously Witcher is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Thornbreaker.
Which is part of the Witcher, the Gwent card game, essentially.
Yeah.
It's a spinoff. And I think it's at $30, which, I mean, it has a full story, fully voiced and everything. I am planning to get it. I just, honestly, have gone elsewhere at the moment, you know what I mean? But I do want to get it because it looks and hello, see.
And the reviews have been stellar. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's
good
not
stuff,
that they're good, it's that
yeah.
they're stellar.
Yeah.
Bleszinski clarified that Thornbreaker wasn't a financial failure, it just underperformed. And then there's a quote that says, I assume that it will continue to positively affect our bottom line. It is not, of course, a financial failure. It's just that our expectations are very high. And to be fair, it's expected. Like, I would have thought that game would do also, better. It's not that it was not a flop.
No.
It's just a slow start, and I hope that it continues. I mean, the market for card games type, it's getting a little crowded, now. But some might say, well, this has an original spin-off on it, which is a whole single-player, well-crafted campaign.
Very well crafted.
So
you got to look at it. It is very well crafted, yeah. Which
So-
you just said, stellar reviews, that says it all.
Yeah, exactly. Just want to remind people that Sunset Overdrive is available today on Steam and Windows Store.
Nice.
I was very surprised this morning when I saw the news. I was like jumping with joy. Apparently, it's not a great port, or let's be fair. Let's say, evidently, keyboard and mouse is not the way to play that game because they don't do real keyboard and mouse. It seems like it's actually emulating the joystick movement with a keyboard and mouse. I don't know if you could tell the difference, but it's not a one-to-one when you're using the mouse. It's not a one-to-one move. It's more like if you move the mouse up, it's gonna pretend that it's moving thick.
Which has a different pull in it. Yeah, I got
It's
you.
gonna be it's gonna feel very different, and I can't imagine how that could feel any good. That said, $20 for that game, and it runs really well.
Use controller
And
you'll
you
be
use a
fine, yeah.
controller, and you'll be completely fine. Hell yeah! You better believe I'm getting that. I own that game on the Xbox. I don't have, but I do. And finally, just because I saw this while we were on our first break, Cliff Bleszinski swears off making video games forever.
Wow.
Cliff Bleszinski, and this is kind of sad for me because
He's been burned, dude. He's been burned.
yeah, but and some might say of poor decisions of his doing. He was like he always had a particular attitude that was kind of cocky, but not annoyingly so. It was like, hey, you created some pretty badass titles. You deserve this level of, you didn't become fucking John Romero.
Yeah.
You were almost,
True.
but
I was gonna say he was on the cusp of being a Romero, but at the same time, I mean, like you said, he made that bed, and unfortunately,
but he was
he was a little cocky. There's a reason why they call him Cliffy B for a while. Okay,
No,
he was okay with Cliffy B for some time.
Not now though.
No,
don't call him. Don't call it Cliffy B now. But I feel like at least of the developers that we had and the creators that we had, like he brought it. It's like saying, well, Steve Jobs was an asshole. Well, yeah, he was an asshole, but he was also a fucking genius. At the end of the day, I'm not saying Cliff Bleszinski is like a super genius or anything like that, but he was one of the good developers. You didn't get half-assed games from Cliff Bleszinski. You get freaking Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
Which is a genre-defining title. You get Gears of War, which is another genre-defining title. For cover-based shooters. And every time he will always speak from his heart. It was very rare that you will hear corporate bullshit, which is, I can appreciate that. And if you can speak with a normal voice and not with the corporate bullshit that most of these developers and publishers, especially publishers, try to condescendingly talk down to you,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will respect that. And regardless of his attitude, of his lifestyle, Cliffy B is one of the developers that always have my respect for that. And also for the fact that he brought me some really kick-ass games and he put together some good stuff. Because the thing is, Lawbreaker said that he was developing. This was not a bad game. I played that alpha, and for an alpha, it was pretty amazing. The only problem was it was bad timing.
Market flooded with them that were already running well, and
it was. This would have been the opportunity where if you would have done something, if you would have activated your Cliffy, your real Cliffy thinking would have innovated on something. I mean, yes, you can make this a little bit different, call it innovating a little bit, but you're still doing the same hero genre.
Yeah, it was still a hero shooter. Yeah,
you could have, if you would have done something different. Perhaps this could have been something.
I mean, he gave it his shot, and like you said,
also
he wasn't half-assing it either.
No,
so
no.
So
also,
unfortunately,
for all things of the Fortnite Fortnite is what it is, which it was a fucking accident. All right. Fortnite was the creation. Fortnite was one of the things he was developing. What I'm trying to say when I say it was a fucking accident is because Fortnite is not what this became.
Yeah.
What people play as Fortnite, the battle royale,
Save the
stuff like
World
that.
or something like that. It was
exactly. It was Save the World. It was not this thing. Mm-hmm. This thing became amazing because of course it was fun and you gave it at the right price, which is free, and you monetized it proper.
Yeah.
You monetized it proper. Yeah. It was the perfect storm because it also came out around the time where it was just PUBG and Fortnite, and PUBG was not hard to get, not easy to get into. Fortnite made it extremely easy to get it to a point where, little kids know how to play this, no problem. And then the thing was establishing it on phones where you already establish it on PCs and consoles, stuff like that. So it was the perfect storm for it. So it was not, oh, they got better because Cliff Bleszinski left. It was not that.
No.
Cliff
No one will
Bleszinski,
say that.
if anything, wanted to do, he wanted to do something else and not be part of Epic anymore. And he did Boss Key and Boss Key, his company Boss Key, and that happened the way that ended the way it ended. But anyway, the way this got revealed, to close on that, was that there was a tweet from one of their so-called fans it was a tweet pretty much complaining about the fact that, hey, I bought Lawbreakers and I didn't get a refund for it. Whatever. But
so
Exactly.
exactly. So the internet, being the
internet
dumbass
became the
that they
internet.
are, essentially probably pissed them off and said, you know what, I'm done. I'm not.
And that was literally the way it is. He tweeted, well, I pay my employees their 401ks and their health care even month after the studio folded, so they will take care of their families. I didn't take a salary myself for 2 years. I get you're sad, but God, this kind of shit is another reason why I'm never making another game.
Yeah.
And
There you go.
when you see things
Thank
like
you,
what happened,
internet.
yeah. When you see things that the things that look at Telltale. Telltale is like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Mhm.
The
shit was already burning. Yeah.
And Bosky, with the problems that we were having and the things, or even through their formation, he wasn't taking a salary, and even after the company folded down, he was still paying his employees and paid the 401k just like he said and everything. So you tell me, what is the bigger loss? Freaking Lawbreakers, or the fact that we lost a luminary, to it. And I'm not saying it's this kid's what caused him to.
No.
It's
that's just. I mean, he already made the decision at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But whoever this kid is, obviously he's an ass. You know what I mean? So
at one point he left, and he came back. I'm hoping in some future, Cliff Bleszinski gets his passion for making games again. I would like to see what's next. He comes, take their time off. That's fine. Because I think I've heard this before. That's the thing.
If he doesn't come back though, he said what he said.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't care. Just make something, man. Just make something. But yeah, that should be all that I have also.
Awesome. We'll be right back with our hot topic. Guys, we're back, and we're gonna go right in to our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic of the week.
This week's hot topic is mobile gaming finally good?
And we interrupt our regularly scheduled programming to bring you some breaking news. For more to report, we go live with Mad Dog.
Yes. Evidently, we've got some breaking information here. PlayStation is unfortunately going to be skipping the entirety of E3 2019.
No! What?
Yes.
What?
Indeed, sir. They just announced.
No. You must be referring to the December thing, right? That's what you're talking about.
No.
Tell me it isn't so.
That's also canceled.
What?
For the record.
I mean, yes, I know about that one. They're canceling E3?
E3
No!
2019. According to, this is from a Sony statement, Sony and PlayStation brand will not have a presence at E3 2019. A representative from the company confirmed Thursday to Polygon. This is, quote, as the industry evolves, Sony Interactive Entertainment continues to look for inventive opportunities to engage the community. PlayStation fans mean the world to us, and we always want to innovate, think differently, and experiment in new ways to delight gamers. As a result, we have decided not to participate in E3 2019. We are exploring new and familiar ways to engage our community in 2019 and can't wait to share our plans with you. This news, first off, I don't know if you knew this, literally came on the day, the 5-year anniversary of PlayStation 4. This news was dropped. Not sure if anybody knew that.
What a way to celebrate. And we have, as part of our 5-year celebration, we are canceling Christmas.
yeah, pretty much.
And every holiday you can ever wish to celebrate.
So this is quite shocking.
Wow.
Quite shocking news, guys.
How the Grinch stole
I know.
Sony.
I guess Sony stole.
Sony stole our holiday, our gamer holiday.
I think
because
you're right, because we always take that time off.
We take the time off, and one of the excitements of it is to watch what Sony has. You know what everybody has, but we can't. Like, we already have suffered a loss when Nintendo abandoned its thing, and I said a loss. I mean, of a hilarious show that they will put.
Yes,
to have this like stupid treehouse BS that they do with it's like whatever. Taking too long to give announcement is what I call it. But losing Sony, not having an E3,
unfortunately,
we gotta sort this out. We gotta talk about this, man.
So I'm gonna continue from this article here. Next year, the company will not hold its traditional Monday evening press briefing, nor will it have a booth on the show floor at the Los Angeles Convention Center.
Holy shit! So that space is gonna be literally empty.
And that's a huge space for the record.
That's a huge,
So it's not a small little corner on the show floor.
Because when Konami left, and we know how hard that was for all of us.
Yes.
When Konami stopped,
I still have scars from that
day. There was some time where their space was still there. You know, because they want to hold on to it, because if they don't, they don't get a chance to get it back.
Correct.
You know, if it gets filled by another. Wow.
So
that's it, man.
Asked if Sony will move its E3 presence off-site, like Electronic Arts did in the past 3 years with EA Play. A PlayStation representative said no, it's passing on the opportunity entirely. We will not be programming around E3, the spokesperson told.
Wow. They will have nothing. They have nothing to comment on.
They have
E3.
This, for the record, this 2019 E3 will be the 25th E3, the 25th anniversary of E3, and it will be the first time in the convention's history that Sony will not appear. The very first E3 was held in May 1995, and Sony made a splash during the event by announcing the U.S. launch date and price of the original PlayStation.
Wow! Oh my God!
It's dude, this is a momentous occasion, and in not a good way.
It's
you know what I mean?
It is a blow. It is a blow, and of course we're gonna call it the facade of the shockingness, because we learned of this yesterday.
It's still shocking.
It's still we wanted it to bring it to you rather than the normal thing that we had scheduled, because
it's just way bigger than mobile.
It's big. No, it's big, and it needs to be talked, because of course there's a lot of theories, and there's a lot of people, you know, giving the voices of about their opinions about what they could be. You know, some of them within logic. Some of them completely hilarious and irrational, I gotta say. But I mean, that is that's gamers, you know, at this point. So I'm interested. Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say let's try to break this down.
Yes.
So first off, there's no PlayStation experience, which I kind of found as a bummer. You know what I mean? But that's fairly new.
That was fairly new, and there was always E3. That's the thing.
True.
There was always E3. Oh, they're gonna leave it for E3.
Yeah, we don't have anything to say here. We'll see it next E3. We did kind of, when we talked about the PlayStation experience and not having one this year, we mentioned it, saying, well, they don't really have much to show that we haven't already seen, unless if they're just going to show more of that. But do you want to see more of that, or do you want to see something new? You know what I mean? You mentioned yourself earlier in this show, the XO18 was scarce when it came to any real announcement. So what was the point of it? So the PlayStation experience made sense for that.
Yeah.
E3 is a pillar.
Yes.
You know what I mean when it comes to the gaming industry. So there is some concerns as to what's going to happen to that show. Not that Sony is the reason why the show's there, but
Well, you're breaking that
it's
pillar.
a huge pillar. Yes,
You're breaking that pillar.
You have
Now that roof is shaky as fuck.
I told you about the tweet that somebody went and said that it's no longer E3, it's E2. You know, it's like wow.
I love that.
Yeah. So
because it's true.
It is true. So what happens to E3 now, dude? I mean, what do we?
Well,
Are we still excited
okay.
for it? I mean, are we still excited for E3?
Okay, so here's the thing. This is the kind of announcement that I see it as the announcement that kills E3. And I know this is obviously I'm prone to
Yes.
Yeah, the exaggerations.
Not exaggerating, just hyperbole.
Hyperbole. But the reason I say it like that with that intensity is because it's just like you said, it's the first time in 25 years that Sony is completely like they
don't exist at E3.
They don't. They did for whatever reason. We're gonna talk about that, but let's focus first on what happens to E3, and then we're gonna go into what's happening with Sony. So with E3, this is huge because this is one of the major players. Another one because Nintendo did it, you know. But even with that, Nintendo still had
a presence,
of sorts, you know. So we still have the major two, that we're really looking for. Not to take away anything from Nintendo, but usually their announcements where there were a little bit less announcement there. Great announcements for the people that are super fans of Nintendo. Again, I'm not trying to take anything away. It's just our excitement, particularly you and I. We're more onto the big players.
Yeah.
So what
two.
Sony had and what PlayStation had, regardless of our quote unquote allegiances. And I use that term loosely. But what I mean by that is that in our case, we don't want to see any of these companies fail. Quite the opposite. We always want the other company to bring their best guns, just because that will bring out
correct
the competition. Competition is always good. Guys, competition is always great.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing the events now unfold that Sony is also not skipping out now. They're skipping it altogether. That to me that means
that's crazy.
PlayStation's not gonna have there's gonna be people that announce games for PlayStation, sure. But the Sony, like any hope of seeing of speculating on new hardware, something that could be shown, or what is the next crazy title, the God of War 5 or whatever, anything like that, just went completely out the window for this year.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So there is not a dream there to hold up anymore. Right now, the entirety of the major E3 announcements fall on the shoulders of Microsoft.
And the third parties, yeah.
And the third party, but I'm talking the major announcements are gonna be not just gonna be Microsoft by itself to foot the bill, and they might think, well, this is the best position that they could be, and I think they themselves are pinning themselves on it because the moment that Sony announced that, it was like within minutes, I would say, Microsoft was already tweeting. Well, actually, I kind of want to get the
CUA3. No?
Yeah, it was basically along the lines of, hey, can't wait to show you what we have to offer you next E3. Oh, yeah, literally, it says, we can't wait to see you all at E3 2019. And then the hands up. It's like, wow,
yes. So that begs a question, sir. Because there has been some... Sing with Sony for a second here. Is this an act of arrogance? Is this an act of a simple business decision, a logical business decision that they decided to do this? Is this them saying, you know what, we no longer need E3, or we can do something probably cheaper? I mean, PlayStation Experience clearly is something that people want. Maybe we'll focus on that. What's the reason behind? What's your thought as to the reason behind Sony making this decision?
This is not the return of arrogant Sony. All right, this is not them saying. I know there's speculation on it, and there's some good points towards thinking that way, But in reality, Sony is in a very strong position. They are not in a position to say, well, we don't need to show anything else, And that's the fun, and that's the major take that I want you guys to remember. This is not Sony saying we don't need, E3. This is, to me, more, hey, we really don't have anything else to announce.
Yeah. Because we don't want to move into the next whatever.
The game, the new console is not ready, and starting to talk about it at this E3 would have meant that it's too early, which begs the question, is this a console that we don't get to see until 2021 then?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of seems that way.
Because when you think about it, Sony was criticized for the last E3 because they really didn't they didn't knock it out of the park. They have they showed Last of Us 2, and of course that was great, and Spider-Man, that was great, but and we had already seen Spider-Man.
We already know of them. Yeah,
we didn't see a lot of Last of Us.
They had one major thing, which was to finally see gameplay of Resident Evil 2 the remake. That was it. That was it. To me, me and many people. To me and many people. Okay. You're not a fan of the series, whatever.
Okay.
But that was the only.
Let's say
that was the only thing. Remember, they said they even announced this is what we're going to show at E3.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing that was not on that list. They
were pretty much setting expectation of. Hey, this is not gonna be the previous E3 where we have game after game. This is not gonna be the one where we announce the Final Fantasy VII remake or anything like that. It's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be that level, And it was, and even them trying to set up expectation. I feel for the most part, people were disappointed.
Yeah. So, even though they literally stuck to what they said they were going to do. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, hey guys, I told you from the beginning.
Yeah.
This is what we have. So now. They're just saying, well, fuck it. We just don't. We really don't. We don't have any. And no, this is not. Oh well, Sony doesn't have anything else to bring to the PlayStation, because you guys got to remember, there's a lot of huge titles that are still on the oven that are not released yet. That is just there's no sense on speaking more to about them
until we're closer to them. Yeah.
And there is no sense on starting something now that will potentially spill over to the next generation.
Correct.
I like the way you put it. Actually, you did mention some, this Mad Dog. That was the more powerful the hardware, the more time it'll take to develop a game for it.
Correct. Yeah.
So in this case, the reason why this hasn't happened in the past is because in this case, that window of time from announcement to release is larger, and it could it's much larger, potentially, so that it could anything that gets announced for let's say on a supposed E3 2019, Sony E3 2019, right? Let's suppose they have one, and they announce a new IP. Well, chances are we won't see that IP until the
2021,
until 2021, which is very likely that where the next PlayStation will come out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
that's already the case with Death Stranding. We're probably not going to see that till 2020. We've seen it since 2017.
See,
you know what I mean?
And that's a game that I can
3 years.
I still believe they could come to the PlayStation 4.
It is.
Yeah,
they said it. It's coming to PlayStation 4. Yeah. I mean, it'll probably, if Sony's smart enough with backwards compatibility, will be backwards compatible on PlayStation 5. But it will. It's already said that these are all PlayStation 4. Everything we know of is PlayStation 4 titles.
Yeah.
So I agree that I don't think this is arrogant Sony. A lot of people have said, hey, they're just, they don't need to show us anything. They've already gone and said they don't need to show us anything. They also have a significant lead. So what's the point of wasting, and I'm like,
I saw some comments to that.
Yeah. And I don't think that those are in any way warranted. So I think, and it's also not that they have nothing. You know what I mean? That they've completely barren. No, there's plenty of projects in the works. As a matter of fact, recently, I want to say earlier this week, the makers of Until Dawn, which is Supermassive Games, have said that they have a bunch of projects in the works for Sony as exclusives that they just can't get into right now. So there are projects cooking. They just don't need to be talked about now.
Or they're not ready to be
shown off. Yeah, then they
or
show
in
off,
themselves might not be enough to warrant a whole E3
conference.
Conference,
which we don't even know what the price behind doing all that is. Not that they can't afford it, but now the one thing I do have to point out here, I was not aware. Like I knew they were going to do the conference. The fact that there is not even on the show floor. That's a little bit out of left field. Wow. You're not even showing anything off.
You don't even have some kiosks there that people could play the latest versions of whatever you have cooking, because at that point,
Ghost of Tsushima or Last of Us 2, any of this stuff that you may have ready to at least like.
You can't go full idiot. In this case, you kind of went full idiot. I don't want to use the other word.
Yeah.
You want to went full idiot because if you say we're not gonna have a press conference show event, which I keep calling them showcase. They're more showcases, at this point rather than press conferences. They're not showing
no
graphs
one's on stage
and stuff like that.
Yeah. Thank God they learned their lesson from that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, no, you're right. So, you don't go full idiot. You can say, hey, we're not doing the showcase, but we'll be on the floor showing, our wares, showing PlayStation VR, maybe showing
Lord knows they need to try to move some of those units. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like be at the event, be at the con. Yeah, at that point, the E3 is like E3 con at this point. Just have a presence, because by not having a presence at E3 at all, even you are unintentionally sending a sign of weakness. Even though it's not, even though you have your stable of games is like on par, right now it can't be matched on the console market, but just not being there, you will have people talking that don't understand the industry, so well. And I don't pretend for us to say we understand 100% like that, but that's just the way we interpret it a little bit. But some other people are just talking, well, shit, they just don't have anything else. That this is it. Mm-hmm. This is the moment for Microsoft. And and stupid thing like that. And you see the opposite also. You see the Sony fan people celebrating like, they don't need to show anything else. Look at all the stuff that he has. We just don't need to be at E3. And it's like, well, both of you are dumbasses, because you think that Sony does not, the Sony is weak because they're not at E3 with everything they have, and for the other side, you Sony enthusiasts think that this looks good somehow, and the fact that the Sony's not showing there. So I mean, that's mixed message.
Yeah, it is a mixed message, and I'm not sure if it's getting across the way Sony wants to get it across either. Yeah. That said, they are announcing it fairly early. I mean, we're still, I get 8-9 months away from E3, so they're just, kind of saying, now I wonder if this is going to lead to. I feel like this may lead to some sort of mass exodus from E3, or at least, you know what I mean. It's the first stone being thrown. You know what I mean. Yeah. And I think that's what they're doing, because honestly, the fact that they have nothing on the show floor has me to go, okay, the show floor, that's where more information gets out than anything at any press conference.
Yeah,
that's important. It gets a game in the people's hands. They get to play it. They get to talk about it. They get to tell people about it. Say, hey, I played this. Can't wait for it to come out. They're not going to let that go.
Right.
So that means if you're not going to do it at E3, you got to be doing it somewhere else. So I think, obviously, I don't know PlayStation Experience next year. I think I already told you, it's like, there isn't a chance in hell that 2019 ends and we don't get a PlayStation Experience or something similar to it.
But not only that, but that PlayStation Experience, that will have to be the hardware talks. This is where you start talking about hardware.
Yes, I believe so.
Because otherwise, what are you showing?
Exactly. And I want to touch on that. But first, I want to ask you a question. So, no Sony at E3. Microsoft is pretty content to going to E3 per their tweet. This seems like the E3 that literally Microsoft has zero choice but to blow everyone away. This is their E3. This is literally their E3 to lose.
This is
because of what they do.
This
Nobody
is not
else.
the one where it makes it easier for Microsoft. This is the one that Sony just made it harder for Microsoft.
I agree.
Because all eyes are on them,
Yes.
themselves only, and they will have to dude. There are already rumors. I didn't bring it up on the news because I wanted to save it over here. There are already rumors of a refresh Xbox One that does not have a disc.
A disc, yeah.
You know, which it sounds like a refresh Xbox One that don't have a disc. What kind of hardware is that? Actually, at the right price, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
At the right price, that sounds like amazing. Because right now, I don't care about collecting,
the discs,
the discs themselves. I mean, there's no sense. What's the point? You can't play them because they always need day one patches anyway. So it's not like you can play them offline. But that sounds really good. And not only that, but this could be like the idea where this could be where they're testing the waters. This console towards making the decision of, well, the next Xbox, it doesn't, it'll be diskless, as
Solid
well,
tape, yeah.
because he needs. And that's another conversation, of course. This is the part where we start talking about how that will piss off GameStops and Walmarts and the things and that. But maybe that doesn't matter because they're not. That's not the game that they're playing anymore.
All about software at this point, yeah.
And so with distribution, it's not like great in the United States. Still, we still live in bandwidth caps and not net neutrality.
Yeah.
But it can support. I mean, it can support a download only system.
Correct.
My computer doesn't have a disk drive.
Yeah, true. And they I mean, it doesn't mean that they would. I don't think that they would go completely away from it. Obviously, they're going to still sell your Xbox One.
Oh,
X,
yeah, no, of course,
Xbox
obviously.
One S. Those aren't going to go away. Those are for obviously people who want disc.
Yeah.
They're introducing that into market, and then the next generation, they'll probably bring in at the beginning. Here's your disc. Here's your disc.
Or you have option.
Yeah.
So you
have the option to do one or the other. The discless, that'll be $50 cheaper. Or $100 a year.
$149 Xbox One. Let's say $199 because I want the X version of the diskless. Let's say $199 version of an Xbox One X. Here's my money.
Yeah.
Because
that's a huge
regardless
drop.
What it,
not sure if they'll go that way, but that's a huge drop.
No, that's what I'm saying. They don't save cost. On the building materials. If you can lower that, then you can probably they need to because they will need to move units because of course they're in last place.
Right now, I honestly think that yes, they're going to as many units as they can before the next generation. They're in. That's gravy money because not that they've given up, but there is a huge gap.
Yeah.
So
they're not competing.
Correct.
They're not competing this generation
It's just
anymore.
to fill in the gap, but
this and not to mention this will have to be their E3 where they they kind of did already. They began talking already last E3 about the next one. Next one.
They dropped the seed.
They did.
Yeah.
Let's not forget. This is the one where they feed you more information on it.
So that leads me to my next little point that I had written down here on a scribble piece of paper.
Just like olden days.
And yes. That leads me to my next thing, which is to say Sony doesn't know, obviously. Neither side knows what either side is doing, but what would be and not to say that this is a strategy of Sony's, because I'm not going to give Sony that much credit to think this far. Okay, I mean, they did well with PlayStation 4, but other than that, they usually have been kind of silly. An interesting strategy of this is by not being at E3 2019 and knowing that now Xbox is in a situation where they have to marvel everyone. They have to bring all whatever they have going. We're gonna show it. That in essence shows the hand of what's going on at Xbox so that now Sony will be privy to some of the information.
Yeah.
One of the weird things that they did was with the PlayStation 4 reveal, right before, maybe a couple months before, like in December of 2012, they were like, "No, we're fine with Xbox, showing off the new whatever first. We're not in a rush." 2 months later, boom, February of 2013, we saw we didn't see the PlayStation 4, but we got to see the PlayStation 4 reveal happen. That put Microsoft in the heel. People were talking about it even then, going, guarantee you, the following month we're gonna find out what Xbox is doing. We had to wait till May of that year. People were like, "Where's it? Why haven't they responded? Where's the next thing?" And then the Xbox One review. It put them kind of a little bit on their heels. And this right here, again, this is not saying that this is what Sony has planned, because again, I will not give them credit for that. However, they may have inadvertently opened the door to say, all right, we've already said we already know the games that are laid out for the next 2 years. We know that Last of Us 2, you got Days Gone coming next year, you have Ghost of Tsushima, we have Death Stranding, Dreams is somewhere in the horizon. All that's going to come. What's Xbox going to do? They have to reveal something. They can't just come into Xbox. They cannot come to E3 and not blow people away, because guarantee you know how fanboyism works. Guarantee you, people are going to walk away from E3 after a mediocre press conference from Xbox going, "Man, I wish Sony was here, man."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's warranted or not, that's what people are going to say. So if people don't walk away blown away from what's going on, you're going to have that. So Microsoft is going to have to present not everything, but a lot of what they have ready to go and what they have the roadmap, and that will give Sony a little bit of, okay, well, we now know more or less what they're doing. So,
but yeah, I'm not convinced that strategy works anymore.
Again, I didn't think it was their strategy.
No. Yeah, no.
I'm pretty sure this is more of a happy coincidence.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that letting your competitor go first so that we know their secrets hasn't historically worked. I mean, it
didn't work for
it worked in this generation, but
yeah.
I will argue that it was not that it was more the catastrophic blunders of Microsoft
Definitely
allowed Sony to be better prepared
for this one. Yes.
For this one. But if you remember the previous generation, it was Microsoft. Microsoft came well ahead with information about their Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't help in any way Sony. Sony made the most powerful console of its time, and that didn't help them. And they were privy to all the information. I
would argue that it eventually did. When Xbox essentially had a huge lead, Xbox 360 had a huge lead. It was doing everything right. And what did Sony do? These guys had achievements. We'll bring in trophies.
Mm-hmm.
These guys had Xbox Live Arcade. We're going to do something similar.
Yeah, they were humbled.
Yes. So I'm saying.
Yeah.
What? Now, granted, that was Sony on their heels trying to catch up because they were very arrogant, and they were going, "We got this. We know what we're doing. What the hell does Xbox know?" You know what I mean?
Get 2 jobs.
Get 2 jobs. $599. You'll be fine. Yeah. We don't even need to have games for the console. That was the worst, dude. The worst. So I seriously
we don't need Rumble.
Yeah.
Rumble is last generation. Come on, guys.
I'm serious. I swear to God, as much as we make it sound like, I don't think this is arrogant Sony. But now that I laugh about it, I'm going,
arrogant Sony. You don't. If you think this is arrogant Sony, you weren't old enough to remember what arrogant Sony was in reality.
If you have a PlayStation 3 right now and it's not plugged in, plug it in. Try to go to that store. Try to do anything on that console right now, guys.
Listen.
Let me tell you.
Listen, Linda. Listen. If you think, if you think Xbox One TV was bad, and I'm not downplaying it because it was horrible. At least the bad was concentrated into the 2 or 3 months of the reveal, and then Phil Spencer, Jesus, came in and redeemed them. All right. Sony's situation Sony's thing was exponentially worse in the sense that they started arrogant and they kept arrogant as
Yes.
they held arrogant as much as they could until they couldn't anymore.
Until they
they
realized,
have
yeah.
to realize that, okay, guys, you obviously you guys won Rumble.
The Rumble, yeah,
you
yeah.
guys want
We'll give
achievements.
you the
guys,
damn Rumble back, yeah.
we'll do this, and here's PlayStation Home also, so you have your avatars as well.
Yeah.
We have avatars too.
Yeah,
by the
exactly.
way.
That's another thing. Yeah, they were like, "We'll do avatars, and then we'll put a world for them."
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So again, like I'm going to adamant in saying that I do not give credit to Sony for doing this because I don't think they've thought that far ahead. However, I really think this is more of a business decision. In essence, what's the point of re-showing you anything if you already seen it? What's the point of going? And two, I also think they want to move away from E3. Now that I know of the floor, not including anything Sony, I'm like, they seriously just want to move away from. So I almost want to wonder, I'm like, how much was this costing them? I mean, the LA Convention Center must be fucking astronomically expensive. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell?
I'm gonna close, or I want to close with this. This thought. These are three theories.
Okay.
I'm sure you probably seen it. This was actually courtesy of IGN. This was Ryan McCaffrey.
McCaffrey?
Yeah.
He's an Xbox guy.
He's an Xbox guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
Okay. All right. So the three theories that he presents, and they were interesting in themselves. We kind of touch on some. So theory one is that E3 is dying anyway, and Sony will just have its own event. So.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no.
I didn't want you to
You're
jump to the second one because I wanted to comment on that. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. So in recent years, major publishers who have pulled out of E3 include EA, Activision Blizzard, and Disney. Word around the campfire is that the ESA, the organization that runs E3, was asking for increasingly exorbitant amounts of money for booth space, and the result is that E3 now happens in and around Los Angeles Convention Center instead of completely inside it. So Sony simply holds its own press conference and showcase offsite, and this whole skipping E3 announcement is much ado about nothing. Yeah.
Well, that's not the case because they said they're not going to be anywhere around there. They're just not going to be at E3.
Oh, they just said,
Yeah.
well, maybe they're going to be in Atlanta at not E3.
Yeah, not even offsite. That's so offsite. It's like
They
50 states away.
Exactly. They're really like,
Yeah.
guys, we told you we were going to be at E3. We're just here in Atlanta. We're
hanging out.
We're
You know
just
what?
we're just eating bacon and
come
bacon.
to Orlando,
eating bacon
guys.
and bacon.
I will be here. I will buy
There you go.
100 tickets.
We'll buy yeah.
No, maybe not. But.
The
So yes,
second-
that one.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that one is interesting. I do agree that it is. It's been mentioning forever that E3 is slowly dying, because of that, and because a lot of people are like, you know what, we can do something totally to ourselves, totally to our fans, dedicated directly to them. Why should we go there and pay? Dude, I mean, I just do. LA's expensive anyway, so I mean, I can't even imagine what that huge space must cost them.
Yeah. Well,
We'll
the second theory that has PS4's big guns won't be ready for 2019. PS4 major announced first-party releases that have not yet released include The Last of Us 2, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, and Days Gone. The latter looks locked and loaded for a pre-E3 2019 release of April, after previously being set for the crowded February 22nd.
February, yep, they got moved out. Yep.
As of the rest of them, well, we saw each of them at E3 2018, and no release dates were announced at that time. It is entirely possible that none of them will be ready to ship next year, and Sony doesn't want to go back to the well and show too much, particularly when Naughty Dog seems to want to keep as much of The Last of Us 2 story under wraps before players get their hands on it. And this trending has already been shown off several times since the initial unveiling in 2016. Unless, of course, they're totally ready for 2019 and Sony just doesn't want to exhaust gamers by showing them off yet again. And so maybe, theory number 3, Sony wants PS5 to be its comeback.
That's the third theory?
That's the third theory.
Okay, so real quick on the second theory.
Okay.
I agree 100% on that. That I think this is my own personal timeline. Obviously, I don't know anything, and I'm probably 100% wrong. But Days Gone and Ghost of Tsushima, I think, are 2019 titles. Boom, your two tentpoles for that year on your major first parties. Last of Us 2 and most definitely Chef Trend.
Yeah.
I think those are 2020 titles. So if you have this year, what are your major PlayStation titles for this year? God of War at the beginning of the year, Spider-Man at the end of the year. What other? Yes, you'll have some smaller whatever, but those aren't your tentpoles. So you had 2 for this year, and they did magnificently.
Yeah.
So you have your 2 for next year. You have your 2 for 2020. There's no reason to try to fit something in sooner, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I agree 100% with that one there.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I kind of like theory number 3.
Okay.
Actually.
All right. Yeah.
And this is the one where it's a combination because I don't think theory number 2 is wrong. Obviously not.
Mm-hmm.
But theory number 3 has me more intrigued.
Because it's more nefarious. Go ahead.
Sony wants PS5 to be its comeback. So there's a case to be made in today's world of nanosecond long attention span. It'll be terrible. It'll be a terrible idea to ever ease up on your brand marketing push. However, when you're Sony and you have dominated the console sales charts for the entire console generation, and your executive games lineup has earned you accolades on an annual basis, perhaps you build up enough of a lead to be able to take off your foot off the gas for a little while. What if Sony is content to let the PS4's reputation carry it for a bit until 2020, when the company can make its quote-unquote comeback in the biggest way possible by unveiling the PlayStation 5 for a release date later that year, as has been heavily rumored for some time now.
Mm-hmm.
If this is what Sony is doing, it's bold, if nothing else, because it is effectively betting everything on PS5 having as smooth and successful of an unveiling as the PS4 did. So I like this theory for two cases. I'm going to talking on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let you talk in a minute.
Oh yeah.
I like this because it cements the fact that yes, this is like there's no doubt in anybody said there shouldn't be any doubt that there's nothing that Microsoft could do right now that will make that will make an effect on Sony's lead and bottom line and all like that. Like Sony won this generation, bar none. That's
and
it.
Literally stopping like this. It's not going to change.
They could. Obviously they can't stop because they can't stop making games. But they could literally
the fact that they are not going to have a presence there. Yeah.
So they can, but they can slow down. Take this year off. You've been working for 25 years. Take this year off, and just let the momentum of PlayStation 4 carry you all the way to 2020, right? And at some point, you're gonna have the people that are scared, like that get a little nervous, are like, "Oh, man, we haven't heard about Sony big things for almost a year or a year and a half now. What's gonna happen?" And then don't even have an experience on 2019.
What? No.
I know. It's crazy. I know.
Yeah.
It's insanity. It's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Well, you come in E3.
2020.
You come in E3 2020. All right. And you come announcing the PlayStation 5. And by the way, it'll be available this fall. And suddenly, you just set yourself on fire. Now, as long as that announcement, just like you said, and I agree, goes as nice and as smooth as the PlayStation 4 announcement, and when. Because the moment they get into arrogant mode or PlayStation, PS, TV,
$700 for the console.
$700 or anything crazy like that, and Microsoft is like, No, we have a $299 system without a disc, and it plays at 12K, whatever,
12K, 18 teraflops,
18,000 teraflops, whatever. Then that's it. You're just going
exactly.
So
exactly.
very interesting. Actually,
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
And I kind of have to agree that I would love to see that. I don't think they pass. Well, first from the announcement, they do want to do something in 2019, not at E3. Basically from the statement they made.
All right.
Not that they can't go against that same statement and change their mind later on, but
right.
I still think we get something from them in 2019. I do agree that they are sort of letting off the throttle a little bit just to say, hey, we're fine. You guys know what's coming.
Yeah.
It's still going to be coming. We're still going to have a communication with our fans. It's not like we're literally just walking away, let the fucking shit take care of itself. You know what I mean? So,
because that ship can still crash against something
exactly,
that Microsoft comes in the middle and puts and does something interesting.
Fucking icebergs are out there, guys.
Icebergs are out there. Yeah.
So,
but in reality, there's I don't think anything's stopping this train.
No,
yeah.
no. Like I said, I don't even think barring a massive catastrophic failure would allow these guys to catch up.
Sony's are hackable now, and it's stealing your identities of everybody. You're gonna have to return them, and
that's fine. I mean, you have fans okay with changing their names and potentially losing God knows how much information. Wow. So no, I kind of like that idea. I do think that PlayStation Experience will happen next year, and I think at that time is when they will bring all the guns. Here's what's happening. Here's PlayStation 5. Here's when PlayStation 5 is coming out. Probably be again fall of the following year, 2020. I don't think it's going to go much further than that. I also think my personal, I feel we will know more about Xbox, their next one, before that even happens.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so
if they're smart, they'll do.
If they're smart, yeah. That said, I think taking that time off, there is an old saying that says absence makes the heart grow fonder. And I think that can be the case here. Yes, everybody's going, man, I wonder, I haven't heard from Sony. You said it perfectly. I haven't heard from Sony. The moment they say, hey, guys, guess what? December 8th, 2019, PlayStation Experience, such and such place, wherever the hell it is. Dude,
the big reveal.
It's going to be, we haven't heard from them in so long. Boom, here it is. You know what I mean? I am probably giving them too much credit to do all that. Like I said, way too much credit here. This is Sony after all, and they still can't figure out how to change names.
To surprise us, yeah, positively and negatively.
Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This brings us to the end of an awesome episode 134, a 3-hour-long episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.
I
hope you stuck. This is a record. I hope you stuck with us this whole time. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, please go goodgame.tech. Join conversation there. Please like, subscribe, and share the podcast. We are now on Spotify. Just do it, guys. Spotify, and by the way, we're not sponsored by Spotify, but Spotify is awesome. Just get it. You can literally listen to this for free on Spotify.
We are not sponsored by Spotify.
We're not sponsored by
Spotify. We're not sponsored
Although,
by Spotify.
for the record,
We're
Spotify.
not sponsored by Spotify.
We would love to be sponsored by you guys.
If you pay us. In the meantime, we are not sponsored by Spotify.
All right, guys. This is Arnaldo, a.k.a. Mad Dog, signing off for this week. Mr. Santos, take us home.
I don't apologize for the distance and for the length of this podcast because it has definitely helped your commute, hasn't it?
I believe so.
If it has, drop a comment below. Share, like, and subscribe. And we will see you next week. GG!